What's up, you guys? Sorry about that. Thanks for being here. Welcome to Dating to Marriage Support. I am Lady Di, and I am here to just help with a few situations, issues that I see in the community as far as dating to marriage. That's what this channel is about. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel and also like this video. Like this video, you guys. I know you've seen the question coming in, but if you haven't already, like this video. Also, please subscribe. So we're going to get into a topic today as far as what I've been seeing lately. So I'm convinced that a lot of women are scared to date. They're very fearful. Why is that? There's many reasons. It's okay to be scared. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how long are you going to be scared for? Because what's up, Balancing? You guys make sure you go check her channel out, and she's also on Instagram. Thank you so much. You're pretty as always, girl. So yeah, it's scary. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared at one point too. But my whole point is, how long are you gonna be scared for? Let me adjust this really quick. Like, are we gonna be scared for the next 10 years? Like, what are we doing? Any man that comes across us, we're just gonna be like, you know what? Nah, I ain't feeling that. Okay, you could call in if you want. Let me know. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you the link in case you want to. But what are we gonna do? Like, we can't just for the next 10 years, you know what? I'm not gonna give anybody a chance. Why would you think of something like that? Like, I'm just gonna be real. Is that realistic? Is that realistic, you guys, to think like that? And then the other topic I had on there was about men. Men are scared of divorce. A lot of you guys may not think that, but it's true. Men don't like divorce. One of the main reasons is because Balancing, I sent you the link just in case. Oh, okay, I see you, girl. But yeah, one of the main reasons why men don't like divorce is because of the court system. Why? Because they seem to lean more towards the woman and what she wants and the benefits of the woman instead of the benefits for the man. It's like they bump the man, even if the woman is in the wrong, they are still on the woman's side. You ever seen cases like that? I know they talk about the cases like, men are no good. They do all these things, including being a deadbeat dad and all that stuff. You hear those type of stories. But do they ever talk about the stories where the women are no good and women are deadbeat mothers? Do they talk about stuff like that? They're out there. So we can't always be one-sided. We have to have both sides. You have to think about all, because in a relationship, it is two people. Why are we only concerned about one, which is the woman? And I'm a woman and I'm speaking as if I'm not, but I'm speaking in the sense of I'm a woman and I don't think that that's fair. Even though I may not be a deadbeat mom, right? But I'm still seeing that there are women out there like that. So am I going to cater to all of their needs because they want all of these benefits that they don't deserve? Can we really talk about that stuff? Also, I'm going to have somebody in the background chiming in. So she's here to bring more insight as well and add to the conversation. So if you hear somebody in the back, that is the person that I have here to help out for today as far as bringing out some of the truth as well, and then just a different perspective. So listen, you can speak whenever you want. She's back here. Let's see. Balancing Code says, what are your thoughts on withholding sex until marriage when your man says he can't wait? Ooh, I like that question. So, I believe that men should respect women's, women's, their, so the only thing is, only reason why I'm stuttering on this is because sex is like, if this is how I'm gonna tell you what men think. Let me just keep it like that. What men think is that if you're not a virgin, okay, and now all of a sudden you want to hold sex until marriage, in their minds, from what I've been hearing, in their minds, they're like, wait for what? You didn't hold yourself to feel special in that way. So why you want to feel special now? So in my opinion, I believe that you should see what type of man you have. You have to see what you have to see what type of man you have. You have to make sure that he is a man of understanding. So you tell him, I don't know if you, not you per se, I don't know if this is regarding you or whatever, but anyone out there, you have to ask, like, or just say, hey, yeah, I want to hold myself until marriage. See how he reacts. You saying that he says he can't wait. Okay. So ask them, is that a deal breaker? And then you have to see, well, damn, if you really truly feel that you want to hold it till marriage, and this man is like, nah, this is a deal breaker, what are you going to do? Are you going to let it go and be like, you know what? I don't want to lose out on a good man and give it up? Or are you going to, you know what? Nope. I'm going to stay firm onto what I believe. And sir, you're going to have to wait. And if you want us to be married, then you need to, let's do it now or do it soon. You should have high expectations in as far as marriage. If you want to be married, get married. Make sure that he is the right one. Because even if you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give it up to him. But then he's not the one. Then you're going to be wasting time and you're going to add more bodies. So you really have to make sure that this guy is the one before you make any decision. Don't waste your time and don't add a body for no reason. Because even if you said, you know what? I'm going to give it up to him. You better be for sure that he is serious about you and he wants to marry you. Because if he does that, it is what it is. That's y'all business. You understand what I'm saying? So base it off of the things that I said. Hopefully I helped with that. What up, Bruiser? Bruiser says, if she ain't virgin and she do this, she's a fraud. So I mean, like I said, there's some men that really just like, if you're not a virgin, then what you holding out on, you know? So understand your man. That's all I have to say. Understand your man and see how far you could go with that. But make sure he is the right one for you, period. He's not going to say it's a deal breaker. Okay. Talk up a little bit. They don't have to focus on sex. She asks, Coco, this is Coco. She asks, do women do that so they don't have to focus on sex? So, do women do that so they don't have to focus on sex in the relationship? Well, I think that women who do that, they want to make sure that sex is not why the person wants to be with them. They want to make sure that the man wants to be with them for what they have, not what they have in between their legs. So they want to make sure that this man is serious. That's all it is. If you're serious, then we could wait on the sex. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Even if she's not a virgin. Unless you talking about 304s, then that's a whole nother conversation. Jones boy 804, what's up? Thanks for being here. You say 100, it depends on the guy. Yeah, it does. You gotta know what type of guy you have. Bruce says he's just gonna smash other joints until marriage. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all a little personal story. Now that happened to me actually. a long time ago, I was with a guy and I was like, I'm not having sex with you. And I was in a relationship with him. And that's what he did. He smashed a woman on the other side. And I found out a little later. So a little birdie told me, right? Is it true? Well, it happened to me. Now, I've heard of this before. So I don't know if all men are going to do that, but it can happen. It can happen. So, what up, Snuggles? I see you in the building again. Thanks for being here. Stefan, yo, what's up? Withholding sex from your man that you love is abuse, period, point blank. Yo, you love him? That's funny. Balancer says, how did it work in your courting stage? Like, are you saying how did... Oh, you're just talking about in general. How did it work in your courting stage? Are you... I don't want to... You putting sex into this conversation? Is that what you're asking? How did it work in your courting stage? I don't know why I feel like I want to put sex in this conversation. Yeah, I think sex is part of it. Oh, sex is part of that? In the courting stage, I mean, it's up to, it's really up to you two. If you make sure that this guy is serious about marriage, family, children, whatever it is that you want, and you guys match, you guys are like equally yoked, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter about the sex situation. I will share for sure. It don't matter about the sex, because if y'all are serious, y'all gonna get married. If you're not serious and he's playing games or you're playing games, you won't get married. Coco says that you should test it out first. Well, I've heard of men saying that. They're like, I'm not marrying nobody unless they, I got to make sure that cootie cat is worth it. I've heard guys say that. You got a guy like that? Ask him. These men would tell you the truth. You just got to make sure that, you're an open space for him to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So ask him. Courting stage, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to take the sex out. So the courting stage is cool, but I don't really care about that courting stuff, honestly, because a man could court you all day and he's full of shit. He ain't the one. He could do all that stuff for you and he's still not. So I care about getting to know someone in here. Okay? Make sure you're focusing on that. Most of your dating should be on that. You ain't got to worry about eating out nice restaurants and all this. Yes, you can have a great conversation during a date on over dinner. I'm not saying that. You're sure. But make sure you're not the woman who is very driven by how he courts you, because what you're going to end up doing is expecting him to do this all the time. 1, 2, you're going to miss red flags. So that's why I'm not into that courting. You want to make sure that you're seeing all the flags, because imagine you going to a nice dinner, you guys dress up, you're looking sexy, he's looking fine, and you're like, ooh, right? And then y'all sit down, he's like, order whatever you want. And then he drops wine bottles on you. He has flowers. He has a thoughtful gift to wow you. Okay? But then in the conversation you had, you missed that he said, he never had a relationship. Never. If a man says they never had a relationship, come on, you already know what type of guy that is. So now all of a sudden he wants a relationship. Okay. No. You're gonna miss these things that is gonna make you make the wrong decision. So unless you are a woman who could do it all, be courted by a guy and pull up his BS, go for it. But honestly, a lot of women are not like that. They're emotionally attached to materialistic things. So they're gonna get fooled by these guys. So be careful, know the type of woman you are, and do what you want to do as far as that. Just don't waste your time. Snuggle says, what created the culture shift with men? Not getting along with their woman. Okay. Could be because a lot of arguing definitely happened in the house. Men can't be men and women, can't be free to do whatever. You know, a lot of us women are very spoiled. So salute, Lady Di. Thank you, Jones Boy 804. Appreciate it. Snuggle says, in nature, is a man needed in your culture, or does your culture go off of a different nature? I believe that a man is needed in any culture. So it depends on what women want and what they want to deal with, what they want to tolerate with. That's depending on the woman. So the topic is women are fear dating. Women fear dating. So do you guys think this is true that women fear dating and that's why a lot of them are still single? I'm not talking about the ones who actually date, get into a relationship, multiple times and it's not working out. I'm talking about women who literally don't want to date and they not giving nobody a chance. Because why? Oh, all men cheat. How many times have women said things like this? all all men cheat. This is one reason why a lot of women are picky, because they feel, because he gonna cheat on me anyway, I need to get the best of the best. I need to get the best of the best. Period. I need it all. Is that why women are picky? That's what I think. Now, there's nothing wrong with being picky. You just can't be like over the top. So you gotta like really know what you want, but understand what you want. Is it everlasting lifetime of something that's good for you, not materialistic things? So another reason why women are picky is because we as women are picky with ourselves. So, I mean, you guys don't see me wearing makeup like that on here, because I'm just not a makeup girl unless I'm gonna go on a photo shoot or walk a runway and all that stuff that I used to do. Or I used to be a dance choreographer, so I used to, had to be dressed up and all of that great stuff, which was fun. But outside of that, I was never a makeup girl. And simply now I just don't have time for it. Okay. So, but I'm still picky too. So women are very picky with themselves. They wear makeup. It has to be on point. Got the eyelashes because they don't like, or I wouldn't say they don't like their eyelashes. Their eyelashes are not popping enough. It needs to be like this. So they put on the fake eyelashes. Their eyebrows are drawn in. Some of them now are tattooed in. Or they have the what is it? The kneading the fake hair. What is that? Surgery. They put the fake little strands of hair and make permanent eyebrows. Micro something, and they're adding fake hair into your eyebrows because that's how picky we are. It got to be on point at all times. There are women who literally wake up before their man, get ready, and lay their ass back in the bed. You understand what I'm saying? And you know what? I was like that. No. Not to that extreme. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like it is. Understand, when I speak, I'm not just speaking out the side of my ass. I'm telling you, there's some times where I had some things that I did, or I see it all the time around me. Okay, so I'm gonna speak about my experience and my observation, because that's what I learned from as well. So when I say I used to be like that, I'm saying like I used to go to sleep with my earrings on, just with myself. It got nothing to do with a guy. I wanted to be cute on my own. I wake up, ooh, I'm still cute. I used to be like that. That's stupid. That's silly. Okay. Let me see. Balance and Code says, I'm in a relationship, but prior to that, yes, I was in fear from a failed engagement and dated no one for 4 years after it ended. Wow. Yeah. I was traumatized. Wow. Yeah, that's I can understand. But 4 years, girl, you're too pretty to be single for 4 years. And in those 4 years, you walked by a few good men. I know you did. But anyway, to the future, I do hope that the relationship that you have, works out in your favor and his favor, and you guys have a lovely relationship into a marriage. Okay. But if you guys want, like, coaching. Me and my husband definitely do this on the side of this. Well, that's why I have this page. um, you definitely hit me up on the back end, and me and my husband could talk to you guys if you really need help understanding him as a man, or just in general. So don't be shy to ask me, because outside of Lil Peef, outside of Lil Peef, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm real helpful and nice in that way. So definitely hit me up. Yep, I wish I could take that time back. Yeah. But it's okay. It's moving forward. I'm happy that you were able to find something now. So yes, women are definitely picky with themselves. Um, like I was saying, the makeup, the hair. Hence why a lot of women wear either extensions where they have a lot of their hair out and they add like the extension to make it longer, or they wear full wigs because it must be perfect. Yes, some people say, "Oh, you don't love yourself." That could be true for some women. And then some women just want stuff to look right, right? Uh-huh. There's some women who just want stuff to look right. They're like, nah, I don't want like nobody. This woman that won't wear hair like mine. They're like, no, I can't wear that. So we're picky with ourselves. That's all I'm trying to say. So of course they're gonna be picky with a man. I get that. I get it. But like I said, how long are you going to be picky for? You can't be that picky. And what Balance and Code says is a little different. She has some traumatizing things that happened there. Did you have that situation? You're just picky? For what reason? Because not everybody has situations where they don't want to deal with men, period, because of things that happen. There's women out here that think they deserve all this stuff because you're a female. You got pretty privilege. Like, no, that's not how that works. Bruiser. His show podcast. What's up? What's up, man? Black women are naturally beautiful. Yes, yes. We definitely have to embrace it more. Also, women want men with money. Jones Boy 804 says, don't don't want to settle, Lady Di. Yeah, they don't want to settle. Their settling is like, if they settle, they think it's the end of the world. Okay. A lot of women want men with money. Why is that? Y'all know why they want men with money? Like, an obvious reason, but a little deeper than that. Women don't like to feel uncomfortable. They think that being with a guy that's so-called average earning is uncomfortable, as if they were brought up into a household filled with silver spoon is the old term, white picket fence, acres of land type of life. Like, did you have that life? You grew up like that? And if you did, then you need to find you a man in that caliber because that's who you are. You was raised that way. That's okay. But women out here coming from the hood saying, I want a white picket fence. Where you how you gonna get that? Especially how you grew up with that damn mindset. Women coming out of one bedroom apartments, two bedroom apartment, and they want acres of land starting off. Like, I'm not saying you can't get that. You can deserve to get that later. But you want this man to have this already? Like, let me drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link in the back because sometimes when I drop the link on here, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I be getting So if you want to call in, please put it in the chat and I will send it to you. But yeah, I don't sometimes I don't like to drop the link because of what I see, okay? But I'm gonna send it to a few people I know on here. But yeah, how you coming out of the hood for the projects and I'm not downplaying apartments. That's not what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with staying in an apartment and then eventually getting what you want to get. I'm just saying, how you gonna sit here? How you gonna sit here and be like, I want this, I want that? Listen, where am I? All right, I'm gonna drop this link and I'm gonna delete it, okay? Because I don't have everybody's back end. All right, but I'm gonna delete this in a minute. All right, there you go. What's up, hustler and muscular? How you gonna come out of these situations wanting all this stuff? That's the unrealistic part that I'm talking about. You can want what you want, but it needs to be at an appropriate time. You can't just want these things and you never had it. That doesn't make sense. Get with a man who is willing to get that. Because there are men out here that start from the bottom. Not everybody gonna have this type of money, especially not no young man. It's not happening unless he was born with money or he, hit jackpot gaming. There's men that game that make so much money online, or he's a tech guy early on. But guess what? A lot of you women don't want those guys because y'all say they nerdy as hell or they on the game too much. A lot of those guys got money though. That's what y'all want, right? Go date a gamer. Go date a tech person. I'm just saying. Go do it. They there. But y'all don't want him. Y'all don't want him though. Why? Hustler and Muscular says Black women act like they don't want to compromise with a man. They don't. That's what I'm saying. Because they feel like they deserve all of this stuff. And I'm not gonna say you don't deserve it, but in due time, you better be showing yourself in a way where you should get it. What are you doing to get it? You're not just gonna get stuff, just like you don't get stuff in life that you want now. You gotta go hustle for it, work for it, respectfully, right? What do you think? Snuggle says, what do you think men need to do to get better women in your culture? All right. I'm going to answer them in one. Do you think women in your culture are already fit to be wives? If so, what is the percentage? I'm sorry. What do you think men need to get better women? They need to know what they want and go get it, right? And then when they see a woman that has it, but let's say they don't have it all, be a man of have patience. Some women come from trauma, or some women come from lack of understanding because look at the world. They're not promoting love, marriage, or anything. So be understanding to the right type of female, and you should be able to find a woman. Do you think your culture are already fit to be wives? No, I don't. Not at all. That's why I'm on this page. I'm a wife right now, and I'm giving back. This is what this looks like. Giving back to the community. Why? Because I care about my people, everybody, woman, period. Because a lot of women out here are literally struggling for no reason. They're sad, depressed. You know how many vent conversations I've had in the past? So many women are venting so much about, oh, he did this and he did that. And you know how many people I've helped in that, and when I understood, and then before I even came to this position right here, I call myself a wife influencer. Now, I'm gonna take the wife coach off because I'm a wife influencer. I'm gonna say it like that. Coach is cool, but I influence women to be wives, and then I show them how to do that and maintain it happily. Okay. Now, before I got into this position of wanting to be a wife influencer, I wasn't in the position to help all the time in that way. No. But but I still received a lot of venting. Like, women really just be sad, okay? So I feel like it's needed. All right. Balancing Code says my man hates when I wear makeup completely, and he hates fake hair too. He is very traditional. His mom and 5 sisters are all natural too, so he don't play face red droppy eyes. What's up, yo?
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
How you making it?
I'm making it. The last couple of days I had like 3-4 hours of sleep. Terrible, but I am making it.
That's the same with me. That's how I kind of had a lazy start today.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I think it's between trying to do my own thing and trying to collab with other people. It can be overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, it is. I agree. That's why I
Hmm.
was like, I need a day off because I got to get myself together. It's amazing, but it's like you said, balancing codes. That's what's up. Seems like you got a good man. Don't lose him. Let me just keep it real. Don't lose him, balancing. Um, what does attraction look like to a woman in your culture? If women in your culture get a man of a different race, would they accept him if he is a square? They don't accept any man that's a square. I don't think it has nothing to do with race. When women in your culture date other races, what do the men usually look like? What do you mean? Are you talking about appearance? They want tall guys. They want a good-looking man. So whatever that looks like.
So basically, she's saying when black women date outside of their race, is it safe to say they look for the same features?
Oh,
That I think black men, a lot of black men usually are tall and some kind of average, but I don't know. But what do y'all look like? Is it the same across the board?
um. Well, since you said it like that, I mean, they do look for the same. A tall man is a tall man, right? I'm just saying tall because that's like the number one thing I hear. And a man with money, I don't
I
think it
think
matters.
I don't think it's a matter of your dating preferences changing by race. I think dating preferences change by your age group. I think when you in your teens and your early 20s, your preferences, it's common for you to date these bad boys and more popular guys or more trendy looking style guys or whatever. And when you get a little older, you start to mature. You want a guy who can actually be your husband at that point. And I don't think being white, Asian, or any of those things really matter.
Yeah.
So I think it's all dependent on the age bracket you're in.
Mm-hmm. I agree. True women of today don't understand compromising at all. Snuggles, it looked like you need to call in.
Snuggles got 1,000 questions. But balancing right though, that is something a lot of people don't really focus on. Compromising because society kind of make it seem like they don't really have to compromise because of all the things that opportunities and stuff they can do to empower themselves. It's sort of like they don't really have to settle. You know what I'm saying? Like they used to. I mean, I think back in the days, picking a man or settling was based on survivability and, not the fear of going without a man, period. But nowadays, you don't even have to get married or you can get in a relationship and still have a successful life as far as survivability goes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. So I'm gonna get through some of these questions and then I'm gonna play some videos coming up. Um, hmm. What does a community that does not need to be saved look like? I'm sorry, look like, does anyone know?
a community got structure,
Yeah,
progress. Asian community is one of them. Chinatown.
right.
When you got revenue coming in and out.
Uh-huh. Yep, they know how to keep it within their family. So, I would like you all to collab with a YouTube or called Tommy Sotomayor.
Mm.
Okay.
Tommy
Uh-huh.
Sotomayor is tough.
Mhm.
Sotomayor or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
You heard of him?
I have. I know him about like what he does. I think he was, not I don't think he's on YouTube anymore, right? I gotta check.
I think so. I think he
Okay.
is.
Yes, I know about
He's been
him.
on for a while. He's like one of
Yeah.
the OGs.
Yeah. He has. Salute to Bruiser. Yes. It would be an interesting conversation. Yeah, one day. Balanson says, good to see two married people. Keep going. Bruiser, how long you been married?
Almost 10 years. Coming up on 10 years.
Yes, you hear that? 10, almost 10 years.
Yep. And I'm working on baby number 2. Just had our first child this past year. We planning on having another baby within the next 8 or 9 months.
Whoa.
Man,
Good luck with that. That's amazing. Do you want another boy or do you want a girl?
actually, I want a girl.
Well, that's because you got the boy first. See,
Yeah, I want a girl now, so I can be able to give the girl some. I want to be able to defy the odds. You know what I'm saying? With raising children, a lot of people saying it's hard to raise kids. Like a lot of people I know say it's hard to raise children, and I
Mhm.
want to be able to say, you know, I figured out a way or I know how to do it. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah,
challenge. It's just a motivation.
yeah, I agree. Especially with the girls. Like, I want a girl because I want to raise her how a lot of us wasn't raised. It's women today get a lot of ways that they teaching them the bad things of life instead of teaching them, hey, this is what you should do, you'll be more successful this way. They're not doing that. They creating 304s and stuff. So
I think social media has a lot to do with that because social media is making women more. It's a microwave society, so they're getting all this attention. They overwhelmed with all this attention from guys, so their behavior is very like short term. So they starting to have short term connection with men early on through social media, and they taking that from social media out into the real world when they get to dating. So that's my theory on how the body counts are racking up. It start
mhm.
off with social media, the attention you get, the DMs, the communication you get, the emotions you passing back and forth through social media exchange and conversations, and then you taking that on to person to person, and
Mhm.
it's a cycle just going out of control. So
Yeah, I agree to that. Snuggle says it looks like your culture, your husband is not supposed to be physically appealing to the wife according to the words you all use.
what?
Mhm. That's what I.
So she's saying that according to the words we use, a woman's supposed to accept the husband without having any attraction to him. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
I don't remember saying anything like that.
Yeah. I never said that. Women want an attractive, tall man. I keep saying that. It's gonna be like that for a while.
But I will say to her defense, I looked at some graphical data that a channel was doing. I think it was Valuetainment, and Donovan Sharp was on this channel, and they was actually going over the graphical representation of what a man looks for whenever he wants to be with a woman and vice versa. And the woman, um, I think 50% was his between his resources and his status.
Mm.
The rest of the 40% was broken down between his game, you know what I'm saying, his looks and all those other things. But on the man's side, 80% of what a man was looking for in a woman was her looks. So it was just weird how that graphical representation displayed that. It kind of support what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
I would even like defend that on some cases. I mean, like women do like do they prioritize your resources and status? Is it safe to say that, or do y'all prioritize the looks over that?
I would say it's the resources. They want to see like what a man has, not what he
Yeah,
looks.
his status, right? His networking,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah. That's what they look for. Because you could have an attractive man, but if he doesn't have that resource of what they want, they're gonna dismiss him. They might have sex with
Because
him.
it's a lot of good looking brothers, but they don't have what it takes to be a husband or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You can look good, like you can be born with that. But then the
Mhm.
other things that's more important is the things that you got to work hard for, right?
Yeah.
That lets you know that you got a man that's assertive. So I feel you on that. I appreciate you clarifying that.
Yeah. It's just the only thing though, and I'm gonna be negative right here. The women who date these men who are not that attractive though, sometimes that's the ones that end up cheating because they're walking past these guys that look good, but they knew they didn't want him because of that thing that we just said. But they're gonna get him either way. So
So
be
how does a man? Let's say I'm a man out here. I didn't work hard for 10 to 15 years. I'm a 30-year-old dude. I got all my ducks in a row. I got my house, I got my car. I just want a wife. But I don't, for the general population, I don't look appealing as most brothers. How do I know that she is only with me for my resources? And how would I know that? You know what I'm saying? I probably need to do I need to ask her questions about my looks? Like that's kind of
no.
embarrassing too, right?
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. She gonna lie anyway. I'm gonna be real with you. A man that's not attractive knows that he's not attractive. So you ain't gotta ask nothing. Just
Ooh.
be mindful and understand. Simple as that. So a lot of those men, you know what? You laughing. A lot of those men, you know what they do? They're in the gym working their ass off. And I'm not saying an attractive man can't do that, but the ones that are not attractive, oh, they gonna be fit. They make it up in other ways. Okay, the one that really wants to be serious and get a wife, oh, they gonna make sure they fit. They gonna make sure they funny. Hence to your video you had went viral on. They gonna make sure all of that, and they gotta make sure that the sex is good, cause
A1.
these women are gonna go and they're gonna do it today. That's what they do. But if they could please them and all of that, she might not do all that cheating stuff. I just had to throw that out there. So.
So these men had to compensate in other areas. I agree with that because I actually made a video on looks versus success. I
Mm-hmm.
said if you don't have both, this video is for you. And I went into explaining how guys who don't look as good when they go out, they have to wear more designer, more jewelry, versus the guy who doesn't, who actually looks appealing to most women, doesn't have to wear all these designer things and jewelry. He can go out there with some stuff from what's a common store, Old Navy or from Marshalls. Even if
Yeah.
he's got a decent body and a decent charm and he looks good, he doesn't got to wear all these designer clothes and jewelry, and he can pull the same women as the man with all the money that's ugly. So I really believe that. I seen that a lot in my life.
You mind if I play your video on here?
No, 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 man.
Okay.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Look, I better have fair use. God damn it. Nah. You guys, I want to play some videos. I didn't have time to put it in my actual video editor, so I'm going to share my screen today. So it's gonna look like that. But Bruiser, should I get it from your YouTube channel? Your shorts, you posted that not love, looks versus success on there. You're muted.
Yeah, you can share that if you want to. Is that the one you wanted to share?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I want to share that one, and I want to share the one that went viral.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Because that's in line with this topic of today. So let me see. You guys give me just a minute. I'm gonna play his video on
What's
here.
up, Ali? They got my wife. She's in the chat. Hey, baby. Love you.
Aww.
What's up, Sherm?
Yo, where is it? Let me just go to your TikTok because
you need to get Sherm on one of your lives, by the way.
He was on the one last Friday.
Oh man, I missed it. I gotta check that one out.
Yeah, that was good. Definitely.
Have you got Ali on your live before?
No.
Ali is coming. Listen, Ali is one of those dudes that's on the rise right now.
Oh yeah.
I knew he was like one of those gentlemen that I can actually. It's not a lot of guys I can sit beside and have a conversation and actually learn something from him.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, he's one of those guys that I can actually get value from.
Yeah, I found it. I noticed that. Okay, I see Sherm. Ali, Ali, I know you probably busy on Jay Prince, but if you have 5 or 10 minutes, come roll in. I'll send a link to your Instagram. What up, Sherm?
Yo.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's going on? Yeah.
Did you just come from hooping?
Nah, man, I'm on vacation. I'm at an Airbnb in Panama.
Ooh.
Passport bro.
Huh?
Your passport bro now, right?
No. I'm in Panama Beach, Florida.
Oh, I thought you
were okay.
Oh, I thought he was in Panama.
Nah, man. Got you.
I have Coco K that be in the chat. She's actually in the background, so you might hear her laughing or reacting. She's a fan of yours, so
Okay. Yeah. I'm with it.
All right.
You got a fan?
Hey, mind your business.
Yo, Ali, show up, please. We're like 5 minutes. Let me give you the link. Where are you? So I found a video, but Rita, can one of y'all answer a question real quick while I kind of set it up? Let me see something.
What's up? What you got?
Let's see. What is the job of a father in your culture when it comes to rearing a daughter? Would he choose her husband in your culture? Did I say that right? Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, you said it right.
All right.
How many? I don't have a daughter, but I have an idea on how I want to do it. But I think Sherm is the best person to ask this question. You got a daughter, right?
Yeah, I do, but my oldest daughter is 10, so we ain't nowhere near that. But I guess I could say I have a sister too, an older sister. Our dad didn't make it to. He died when I was 9, so he didn't make it to get to be with my sister when she got married. But I guess just from hearsay, or I guess from like our family, talking about stuff like that. It wasn't necessary. No, it's not the traditional, my dad choosing her husband. I guess, of course, you would want your father to meet the person that you want to marry, or you would want your father to have some sort of, ominous dominance or approval, or even like a little small vetting process of that person. But in actuality, I guess I could say over like the past 20, 25 years, that the father's blessing has become more of a suggestion than anything. Because whether or not that father likes or dislikes that person, it doesn't matter. Like, the woman already has her mind made up in most cases, like whether she wants to marry that person or not. So even if the father says no, like, this is still an adult we're talking about. So 9 times out of 10, she's going to make that decision on her own. She's going to keep that in the back of her mind. And, she may beg and plead to her father to like the person or to approve because she wants her family support. But like when it comes down to it, it's just a matter of how much she wants to be with that person or not.
Where do you
Um,
think this comes from? That a father's influence on her husband or her selection process has been polluted or shrink down to just a suggestion. Uh,
I think it comes from like you go from years and years, and I'm talking about like way back in the day, years of the option not being in the woman's hands, right? Like not being the woman's option to be able to decide who she marries. And then it goes to like, okay, you can decide who you're marrying, but traditionally your father has to approve, right? Your father has to say yes or no. And then it gets to, okay, now that's no longer a societal or like a legal requirement. So women are gaining that independence in that sense to be able to marry and have emotions for and feel for whoever they want to. So it could be a bit of rebelliousness, because it's, I guess against everything that they've been doing for like the past 100, 200, however many years. But it also could be because probably the best person who knows what's best or knows who's best for that woman is that woman. And people have finally figured that out. You got
and they
men.
finally figured it out. So when you say finally figured it out, does the numbers show that the numbers support the statement you made that
Well, what
a
numbers?
person
Because you can talk about numbers all you want, but like you can talk about divorce numbers if you want to, but those really don't matter because 9 times out of 10 in those marriages, like back in the day, those arranged marriages, there was no such thing as divorce. Like divorce who? Like you dying or I'm dying, and that's the only way we divorcing.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
that arranged marriage is good for young people because
What?
I'm going to say why though. Young people don't really know much of what they want or who they are. I could say that. I'm not saying it's unsuccessful for all young people who marry young, but a lot of people who marry young, they don't know nothing. And then they're the ones that saying, oh, we grew out of love. Like, well, you didn't even know what love was. So if you have it arranged by people who know and they're married for a long time and they're like, you know what, this man has the things that will last a lifetime and you as a woman have these things, we just got to make sure that y'all at least are compatible and attracted some type of way. You get together, it should work. As long as they don't change and want to be like the modern society, then that's when it's going to be messed up. But I don't see nothing wrong with arranged marriage for a young person.
You know what? Arranged marriages back in the day made sense because money was passed down at a better and faster rate. Like
True.
the woman would have to come into it with, or the woman's father would have to give up her dowry, however you
Yeah.
pronounce it.
Uh-huh.
But it's basically like her inheritance, right? Give up her inheritance to that husband, however young he was, right, or to that family, because now he's fiscally responsible for her, actually responsible in all ways. But now, if you try and do that, you just contributing to poverty because you get what, two 18-year-olds? Shit, they just gonna be a couple struggling together.
Yeah, I think the man is always a little bit older for so it won't be like that, what you're saying. The man has to be able to provide in some type of way. So he has to have a stable career.
So older how? Because you look in 2023, like if you put, let's say, if you put a 30-year-old with an 18-year-old, somebody
Hell
looking at you sideways.
no. Uh-uh. So there's young guys that actually get it pretty early when it comes to getting money or understanding how to get money. They are just the ones that women don't want today. I think I was saying that earlier. These men are like the techie guys, the nerds. They've been making money, but women don't want that because they're too nerdy, they're boring. That's the issue. So those type of guys, you know why they get money a little bit quicker is because that's all they do. They're like into their field of let me see how I can monopolize on this nerdy stuff that they're doing. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that a nerd is a bad thing. It's just that their focus is on other things. Their focus are not on women, so they have more time. A lot of men I see, their focus be on women and the career, so then that like slows it down a little bit. That's just from what I've seen.
So I don't. I would say this. I don't think the man. I'm with Sherm on this. I don't think the man really has had any influence on the selection process or the vetting process of who their daughters should be getting married. I don't think they've been involved to that much point. I don't know how many women. I don't know the statistics on women who get married that come from single parent households either, on whether or not they even have a father in the first place before they get married and household raise them. You get what I'm saying? I do know that 80, I think out of all the single parent household, 80% of 8 out of 10 houses, the father is not the he's not the one that's raising the child. It's only 20%. So it's very it'll be a good idea for I think Lady Dodd, she's doing dating and marriage, and then myself, I advocate for the nuclear family to try to get some research and try to understand where's the majority of the marriages come from, where are majority of the couples coming from that actually get married, or majority of the couples that get married, do they come from dual parent households or single parent households? And if they coming from dual parent households, then that begs deeper research on it. Why, if a father is in the household and the divorce rate is like it is, then we gotta really try to understand what the hell's going on between the parents. And if it's the other way, then I think we can understand that the father not being in the household in to begin with, is probably not expected for him to have any influence over who his daughter married when he ain't even the one who's raising her. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I,
Mhm.
I guess I'll take it a step further, Bruiser. I'll say that men now have less say so on who their daughters are marrying, and moms have more.
oh yeah.
Say you got mamas out here, because I ain't scared of meeting nobody daddy. You know what I mean? I have no nervousness. There's no jitters. There's no nothing when it comes to meeting another man, looking him in the eye and telling him, like, hey, this is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. But when
Mhm.
it comes to meeting somebody, mamas are super intimidating. And mamas will grill you, and they're gonna grill you in a different way, because guys are gonna only scratch the surface. But your mama, she gonna ask you intellectual questions. She gonna test your emotional intelligence. She gonna have you thinking about like things that a man's not really gonna have you thinking about or engaging you with. So I would say women now, and daughters nowadays, even though they're more rebellious in a sense, they lean to their mothers a lot more for guidance on things like that.
Let me ask this question to you, and I can answer it first. Out of all the women I've ever been in a relationship, I think maybe 2 out of 30 women. This is just this is not an accurate number. I'm just giving you a number.
Okay.
Maybe two out of I know two women I had a relationship. Out of all the women I had, two women had their father in the same household. One was a girlfriend I had back in school, and the other one is my wife. My
Hmm.
question to you: I know you have kids. I don't know if you talked about them on this show before. Have you?
Who,
No.
me? Oh.
Okay. So, out of all the women that you've been with, how many of those women actually had a father come to the door? Or I mean, it's a chance that they don't even live with their father. But how many of them women actually had both their parents actually still married and living together?
Ooh. uh it's a good question, man. I've honestly never really thought about it too much, and it's probably because I haven't seen it too much.
Probably
Hmm.
haven't gone as far as to
It's
meet the father.
it's been, yeah, man. But I'll tell you this too, man. Like the majority of my adulthood, I've been in the military, or somewhere part or affiliated with the military, and the women that I've met or encountered or been with, they've been away from home just as much as I have.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily I guess like you can, you know what I mean, go over there.
It's really hard to tell unless you actually having conversation and they talking about family and holidays and all that other stuff.
Mm.
So, yeah.
But no, I would say the number is far less significant. Like there's been, out of the women that I've been with overall, I would say no, they've been in, they've come from a broken home.
But see, I was gonna say, like, I feel like any woman could, let's say, get married or want to be married. It just really depends on how bad her trauma was. Because for me, for example, I'm a woman who comes from a divorce. My parents divorced when I was 10. So you would think, okay, well, I had a broken relationship or I seen it, and I don't want to be married because my parents divorced. I could take that into a negative situation. But see, that trauma is not as bad as someone who, was dealing with no father at all. They're dealing with a mother who's bitter, like always talking bad about someone or somebody. And they're like, you don't need a man. Go do yourself. A man will come, and then they're 40 years old waiting for this man. So it really depends on how bad the trauma is and what someone repetitively keeps saying to them. Because if you take those two out and you're just a person with trauma, you could want to be married and get married. Because you already know it's better than not being married, I guess, for women, especially because they're the ones that need the protection. So, you know what I'm saying? So it depends, really depends.
I say, like, when you talk about trauma, I think you have to give it its respect and talk about healing as well, like on that same token. And if I'm being completely honest, within the last 15 years or so is when trauma and healing have become like synonymous, or you've when you talk about trauma, like you talk about things like counseling. I would say about the last 15 years is when counseling has become a big part of people's lives, and they've realized that they can't overcome a lot of this trauma and heal on their own. Like they have to seek professional help. But like before that, it was pretty much a shit show.
Yeah.
Or you had a lot of women who were dealing with trauma, and didn't even know that they were dealing with trauma.
You know what? I'm glad you said that about trauma. I think trauma has become very, very big and actually more understood and well known, and people are like more aware of it. But I don't think it's to the point where people really care about it. Like they care about gender equality, or they care about sexual education. If they cared about it on that level, I would think that from grades 6 through 12 at least would have a class dedicated to childhood trauma. Instead of waiting till the kids get able to have some means of income to pay for it out of their pockets, to be more of a capitalization method on, hey, look, we know you got issues, we're waiting on you when you get 18 and get a job so you can pay for this therapist. Instead of it being important enough on the same level as the LGBT issues or even Black history or anything, the children is at stake here, and I don't think it's at a level of enough where we care as a a nation. I'm not going to put this on no one community. As a nation, to the point where we can say, hey, look, this childhood crisis or fatherless crisis or childhood trauma is serious, and we probably need to we probably need to attack the issue before these kids become adults, because at that point these kids are already susceptible to high crime rate, suicide rate, emotional abuse, all these other things that it comes to the part where they're dating, and when you enter dating, you got to go back out of dating to go get healed. Like, instead of going to go and attack this issue while these kids are in high school and giving them assignments, giving them essays, giving them reports, testing their mentals on how they're able to adapt, and you can actually heal these kids in a high school program. That's what I see, and I see it as it's not really an eyesore yet. Maybe in the future, but I think there's a reason. It may be a malicious reason why the nation hasn't deemed it as an importance enough to handle adolescence.
I think a lot of people, a lot of parents, they see that as an issue, right? As an issue that sometimes I believe requires a longer term solution, but a lot of parents, they throw a band-aid on it. Right?
Yeah.
Something temporary. They do like a temporary little band-aid. And in most cases, that band-aid is in the form of sheltering. Like they over shelter these kids to the point where, like, hey, I don't want my kid to be involved or experience certain things. So I'm just going to shelter them. I'm going to keep him or her inside. And that's going to be that. Like, and I'm not educating. I'm not teaching, I'm not training, I'm not guiding, I'm just sheltering, right? I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just pulling them into an environment where they're not seeing the issue. And that doesn't mean the issue doesn't exist. So I think as parents, we can do a better job of understanding that these problems that we're facing or that our kids are going to have to face, they're not going nowhere.
Right.
Still out there, even after our kids go back outside,
Mhm.
even after they hop off the porch, you know what I mean? After they leave the nest, the problem is still gonna be there. So we just have to do a better job of understanding that, and I think allowing them, like within appropriate age and maturity, allowing them to experience certain things on their own in their own time, without, I guess, over interference, if that makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, because they're gonna see it from their friends. Like you could have like a great upbringing, but your friends don't. Your friends don't match you. They're gonna have all the other stuff that you're gonna learn from them. So I guess teaching them life lessons and giving them more responsibilities, making them make decisions earlier than wait until they get out the house.
Yeah.
There's people who will wait. You know what? You're not ready yet, and they're gonna wait until they graduate high school, and then they're gonna be like, "Here you go." Well, they don't have no full in-depth understanding, so they're gonna make a lot of bad decisions. Now, can they make up for it? Sure, but why would you, if you're a parent in the person's life? Because some people don't have their parents. If you're there, why would you act like you're not there and not give them the things they need to be prosperous in life? And that's what I have a problem with some parenting. Now, everybody's not perfect. It's just you got to understand what your kids need, and kids need responsibilities earlier before they move out. I moved out when I was 18 by choice. So you might have a kid that want to move out, when they feel they can, because they're an adult now, right? These
Right.
kids have like freedom. They could do whatever they want now. So we have to understand this is for real. You could love that. They could love you. I love my mom or whatever. I didn't leave because I didn't want to be with her. I just wanted to be on my own. So you don't know what type of kid, your kids may want to do. So it's like set them up before, the 18 mark. Yeah. I want to play Bruce's video real quick. Now, this is about, where are we? Okay, so this is his what is this? TikTok page. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
If you don't have both, then you need to watch this. So let's do men first. Looks can get you the cheeks solely off of charm and attraction. Success can do this too, but you're gonna have to reach a certain salary threshold or fame to compensate for being busted. Looks increase conceit. Success increases finances. Looks are a target for younger women. Success is a target for older women. With looks, you can wear less jewelry and designer. Without looks, you gotta wear more jewelry and designer. With success, you increase the chances of marriage. Without success, you increase the chances of having baby mamas. Okay. Let's look at it for the women. Looks can get you the secretary job at the $1 million firm. Success will get you the desk job in the back of that office with mandatory overtime. Looks will get you a wedding ring before 30. Success will get you independence before 30. Looks will get you children. Success will result in an increase in masculinity. Looks will give you power to swipe left or right. Success will give you leverage to control a relationship. Looks attract top tier men. Success attracts pets. Without looks, doggy style is the preferred position. With looks, missionary is the preferred position. Looks can get you more family photos. No looks can get you more selfies. See you on the next one. If you don't have,
Yo, I swear,
Talk to me, Bruiser.
yo, I was supposed to react to that video. That shit was funny. You said so many different points that, whew, boy.
He was quick too.
see, I've developed a method of how I trigger, and I noticed just being anecdotal with everything that I wanted to say, it's not gonna do it. You got to add humor to it. You also got to add a little controversy to it to make people like mad or argue and second guess. But it's got to be some truth to it. It's got to be, if it's just a little bit of truth to it, that's all it needs to be. People will take it and run with it. So that is my method of just getting people to say, hey, look, who is this guy? It's like a landing technique to say, hey, look, here goes some shit that's going to piss you off and trigger you. So you can go ahead and look at the right information that I got to offer.
Trolling, Mac.
You can call it that.
You be trolling.
You be trolling the hell out of shit though. Sometimes be funny.
I love it. I'm here for it all.
So you, Coco said you said sex. I'm sorry, missionary is when you have success. What was it? Or you have looks, I think. Oh,
I said if you got looks, then a person who's having sex with you would be more inclined to have missionary with you. I noticed that a lot in my experience. I didn't get it from the statistics. A lot of these things I got from talking to brothers in the locker rooms and barbershops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if you really look beautiful and your face is gorgeous, men are more inclined to do missionary with you. But if you don't look as good in the face and you're hideous, but your body is like banging, men are more inclined to hit you doggy style. I think some guys call it a bag over the face,
paper bag.
Put a bag over. I don't know. I think it came from Scary Movie.
Paper bag. Yeah. Paper bag.
Yeah. So
wait, so hold on. What if a woman is attractive and she got the body? Then what?
If she's attractive and she got the body?
Then you flip her
in the face? I mean, you can go to town, but I'm saying like you'll be more inclined. You won't be hesitant to get on top of her because you're looking at her face. And it's one thing looking at a beautiful face and looking at her eyes and kissing you and all that stuff. It's something different than looking at Igor hugging you and kissing you. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, Sherman's face. Hustler and muscular. Yo, what do you think about this? That is funny.
How y'all doing?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I came in kind of late, but I remember the brother mentioned earlier about a woman who's not that cute in the face, but she has a thick body. Okay, that's hilarious. You said doggy style is the best style, and she's got a cute body, a thick body, but a not so cute face. Okay, that's hilarious because I don't know. I've met some females who had some thick bodies, but they weren't that cute in the face. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I probably would risk, still having to look at them if we're ever doing something. But your sex game better be on point. You better give me the best with JJ in the world just to make up for it. But that's just me only,
So if she got a body like who's got a really dazzling body right now? Sherm, you look at Ebony magazine all the time. Who?
Ebony? What? I'm looking
at like who what woman would you say just had a gorgeous body?
Serena Williams?
Kelly Rowland.
No. Hey, Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama.
No, I don't think so.
What? No, man. What? Dude?
Thanks. Fuck you talking about?
I don't know. Did you look at her when she was in her 20s, maybe? I don't even know if she was that level at her 20s, but
double cheeked up on a Tuesday afternoon right now.
Let's be realistic, man.
Okay.
I'm not talking about OnlyFans models. I'm talking about somebody who we can actually know. I would say somebody said Kelly Rowland, right? Yeah. Kelly Rowland she does have a nice body, right?
Zoe Saldana.
Yeah. Natural.
Naturally, right? She don't really got no surgeries or anything like that.
Right. No.
Rolling.
No. So okay, let me think. Lisa Ray back in the day.
Oh, when she made that movie Players Club.
Yes.
She was top notch.
Uh-huh.
Lisa Ray back in the days with a face like Jay-Z. Would you still hit her missionary?
What about Gabrielle Union back in the day?
Okay, so Lisa Ray had body like, the hips and stuff. Gabrielle Union was more slim on the slimmer side. So I think I don't know. Y'all guys tell me. Y'all like the slimmer women or you like the woman that's a little thicker? I don't know.
Lisa Ray was one of those. plump in the right places. She wasn't like no overweight, but she was a good build.
Yeah.
Gabrielle Union was like a perfect build back whenever she was younger. Like her
Yeah.
body was, her stomach, her waist, all that was small.
Mhm.
Yeah, Gabrielle Union was really, really. She still had, and she had a pretty face and everything. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like body wise, imagine the hideous face. Like, that's why I'm asking, hustler, muscular. Would you still be inclined to go missionary when her best view is not even like face value? It's like you can imagine her having a pretty face by just looking at her ponytail.
Sherm on the other live said that, or somebody live, he was like, he's not gonna be with a one. He would pick looks over. So you wanted like an 8 or 9, right? Sherm, you said that.
Yeah.
He really likes the look. So I don't know. Would you even have sex with a woman that's not that cute?
I'm not gonna say that I haven't before, because I have, but I would say like the number one thing that attracts me to a woman is her smile. Straight up, it's the smile that gets me first, and then everything else.
That's the number one thing.
Yeah, it's just the smile.
So that's your first labor of attraction. Is seeing her smile.
Yeah.
Your luck, man. Shit. What if you going out and the girl never smiles? She's just serious.
There's no way that happens, because first of all, I'm funny as hell.
I'm about to say, look, they gonna smile at him.
So you just contradict yourself. So basically, you saying you'd walk up to her
You know
first,
what?
talking to make her smile.
Yeah. If I would, I guess in certain glances you can see if a woman has a pretty smile or not. But if you're in a position where you can't see whether she does or not, then you as a man or as an alpha male have to put yourself in a position to see whether she does or not. Especially if that's what attracts you.
Come on, man. So the first layer is not the smile. The first layer is, do she look good? Then I go over there and see what her smile looks like.
No, because I see what you're saying. The first step, she has to look
for you to even focus in on her to see if she got a pretty smile, she's got to have something.
True. Before you walk over there.
In most cases, right, when you look at a person, right, I'm looking up first.
God, I've been around this guy before.
Because I tell you what, why waste my time if you get somebody with a super nice body, but her mouth is all jacked up?
You know, I'm like that. Like I used to say the same.
Oh hell no.
Exactly.
I used to say the same thing, because you could be cute as hell, but when you open that mouth, that's off. I'm done. I can't do with the teeth and the mouth. Don't let
the breath be funky. Don't let the breath be funky too. Oh Lord.
Oh God, y'all putting too many extremes on it. I mean, I can deal with any woman that looks. She don't have to look completely gorgeous. She can have some flaws. Any woman that can have any improvement, you know what I'm saying, that can be improved. If there's improvement that can happen, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? If her teeth is kind of crooked or something, I'm cool with that. She can go get dental, and she's one fault away from being completely gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? No flawless. I think, measuring a woman or anybody by their ability to be a capable partner by that much is kind of like, damn. Sort of like that video, that you probably gonna play here shortly. But yeah, man, like there's things I have flaws about myself, so that I might be insecure with. And I would hope, well, I'm married now, and it worked out for me. But I would hope that she was able to, I think, accept that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My good with my bad. So
yeah. Now I'm the same. But see, my husband is like, I don't know, I would say picky. Like,
don't be like Anton and say your husband is perfect and everything.
No, I'm not even going that route. I'm not like that. I'm saying that he's picky. Like, he would talk about, oh, well, her calf muscles are too big. Like, he'll say stuff like that, and I don't know, what does that mean? Like,
her calf muscles are too big?
Or her like the area is too big. Like, he would say that she's gonna be big when she gets older.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, he looks at all of it, and I'm like, yo, you're on a whole nother level. He explained to me why. He was like,
he's an image consultant then, like
Yeah, I would say because he on everything, the whole head to toe, and I'm like, yo, like I don't even know how I made the cut, but hey.
Yo, you know what? I think I was talking about that, right? And how for me, like you, like I guess as a man who has a woman that he's as a prospect or somebody that he might want to see himself spend the rest of his life with, you got to look back, like look at the women in her family. What do the older women in her family look like? Because if she's skinny, mama big, grandma big, older auntie big, everybody else got big features, then 9 times out of 10, when she becomes that age, like she's gonna start putting on weight. So you got to start looking at those things as well.
But see, but he does what you said, but he takes it to another level because there was a family member that is quote unquote big, right? But he looked at her calves area and it was small. So he said, you know what? She's not supposed to be big. That's what he said. I was like, okay, see, you going to a whole nother level. But I don't know. It depends on the man. You guys pick what you want. That's all I can say. If you can't deal with a woman that's not as cute because you worried about her smile, then don't be with her. Because then you get with her, she has these qualities, but then she smile, and then you're like, I can't look at you, and you're my wife. So that would kind of be weird. I want to play another video, one of Bruiser's videos. So let me get to that. Okay, this video went viral on TikTok. Oh, I'm about to show you guys now. So where is it? This video hit 1.3 million views, you guys. Make sure you like his platform. All right.
Sometimes a woman can talk her out of a relationship. You can talk. We do that.
Yes,
we will talk.
I'm gonna say something, and this might ruffle little feathers. I don't think just being a good man is enough to stay in a relationship with them.
But when I say a good man, I mean like he's good. That means all around. That means himself, spiritually, mentally, physically.
That's great.
Healthily, but he's a good man.
That doesn't mean that he's the man for you. And
right.
Maybe when you're going through these motions of getting to know him, you're realizing, okay, he's a great person, but honestly, I don't fuck with his humor. Like he could be funny,
and that's why a lot of modern women are getting 40 with 4 cats and no man, because he's a good man, but because he's not funny, you gotta throw that out. Sometimes a woman can talk her out of a relationship. You can talk. We do that.
Yes,
we will talk.
So,
wow.
What y'all think about that? This lady is saying he got to be funny. I don't want to get him.
I was just in another stream, and we just got through talking about this. When being a good man is not enough. So I guess I'll just say what I said on the last stream. It's true. You can be the best guy in the world. You can have a job, have a career, have everything going for yourself as a good man. But at the ending of the day, if the woman doesn't find you physically attractive, sexually attractive, or whatever, all those good qualities don't matter. Because she can attract a man, but the thing is, can she keep a man? She can get a man that's got a career, got a job, got all this stuff, but that don't mean she like him. That don't mean she want to be with him. He can be a good man, but maybe he's not a good man for her. There's something about him that she just doesn't like. So being a good man is sometimes not enough if other things about you don't matter.
Okay.
I'll start at the front of that video, right? What Bruce's wife said, that like women they'll kind of like, good vagina is not enough.
Ooh.
Right?
It's not.
Having good vagina is not enough, and
especially if you're a man with options.
When it comes to the things that guys want, and you know what, let me not even generalize or even speak for anybody else. When it comes to the things that I want, peace is probably the first thing at the top of that list. and then it comes to, you know, other things like conversation, like are you, can you, I guess, can you be the yin for my yang, right? Are we doing, um are you able to think for yourself? Are you able to be independent in some ways? So all of those things factor in. If you don't have a sense of humor, right? Um, if I'm out here like, you know, laughing at stuff that's clearly funny and would be clearly funny to anybody, but you just sitting here with a straight face, nah, man.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, I get it. I was trying to get her on here. I don't know if your wife told you or not, but
Oh yeah, she told me that she was gonna ask me.
okay,
Oh, you was trying to get her on there tonight?
Yeah, I wanted her to like tell me about her thoughts on why she said what she's, or not why. Why does she feel that way? Because I like to understand women. Like I could make up my own judgment and say, like, I made a reaction video, right? But that's for that type of woman. All women are not like that. So I wanted to understand why she feels this way. But it didn't work out.
She didn't agree to come on or something?
No.
I would say with that, maybe because it was so recent, and I think as far as a woman coming from a woman with, you know, with a female's emotions, you'd have to like you have to let that settle. You know, just going viral like that off of something could make you do one or two things. It can make you question yourself, like, damn, did I say the right thing? Or, you know, I said the right thing, I'm gonna stand on it. And you might be unsure, and you kind of might be more hesitant to be open to talking about it because it's something that just hits so hard and so fast that you really got to like collect yourself mentally before you can come out here and talk about it. Because the worst thing you can do is get out here and talk about it and just further pin yourself down into a hole if you haven't, you know, gained an understanding of your point of view on why you said it. Because I think a lot of times when people do go viral, they don't plan it. They really don't plan it. It's like a shock to them too, even if it's coming from you yourself. A lot of people rarely plan. You really got to be one fucking clever dude, like on some, and there's probably one. It's like one out of millions, and that Mr. Beast is one of them who can actually plan to go viral. Like, so whenever you do it, it's kind of like it's unsettling because you never saw it coming. So I would say that would be one of the reasons she's probably not ready to come out here and talk about it. Maybe it'll dawn in later and she'll be able to come to grasp with it and accept it and stand on it.
Yeah, I just want her to stand, because it's not like I'm trying to change. I mean, it's not even about change. So if women are out, she's not the only one that's saying stuff like that. There's a lot of women out there saying stuff like that. But you guys are wanting to date women, you know, attractive women like herself. But y'all got to know what's out there. And then you got to know why she's saying it. Because there's the right man that could come and be like, hey, you know, that's not important like that, you know, and break down reality versus her walking around saying things that are not going to be a lifetime. I'm not saying you can't have nobody funny. Funny is good. But if you have a good man and that's all he's missing, is that realistic? You really gonna be single because of that? So
I think when people do that, from my experience, they pretty much disclose what their intentions is when dating. Whenever they date you, and you check all of these boxes that are the most important thing that you need to have to be a husband or a father, and there's other things that you don't check, that lets me know that your intentions is not to be married or even be a mother. Because the important things that I have to be able to qualify for that, I have them, and those are not those won't suffice in a relationship with you. Let me know that you're not ready for that type of relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So
And here's
saying
the
that
thing
being a
about it.
good man is not enough is another way to say, look, I'm not really ready for a serious relationship.
So
It
what
could
you're
be
saying
another.
is,
Correct.
so what you're saying is,
And
most women these days, they're not looking for I guess they want more of a perfect man than they do a perfect situation.
That's right. And that's the other side to it. Now that you got social media,
that's deep.
you got social
That
media,
is
and
deep.
you got dating apps. And when people look at a man, when women look at a man nowadays, they look at a man, a figure, and they look at all these lines portraying attributes and stats and characteristics and personalities. And they're able to take their fingertips and just swipe away. You know what I'm saying? And because society is telling them these attributes rank from 1 to 10, and you should be picking the guy that has the best. So now when they come out here, they take that mindset and that mentality on how they select people, and they place that on the shoulders of every man. And Hollywood has a lot to do with it too. What these stories and what you see on TV and entertainment, these guys coming out here taking this woman into a fancy Italian restaurant every night, and they want a man that can do that every night. And they're justified in it because now they don't have to be married to survive. You know what I'm saying? Women don't have to be submissive anymore. So they can do that now. So now this is just another layer of difficulty. There's another degree of difficulty, another challenge that men have to go through in order to be married with a woman and not get divorce rate. Mm-hmm. So that's why you got guys that's checking out or they're going overseas. You got guys that's not even compelled to get married because the most important thing that we want for real as a young guy coming into dating is to be able to have sex. But now that you're just openly giving it to us, why do we need to marry? Why do we need to commit anything? Whenever you guys are just running around.
Exactly.
I tell you why.
Right.
Why
you can thank women's liberation for that.
The biggest thing.
You could thank the women's liberation for that.
I tell you what, look, even if we're getting it, right, and the woman is giving it, what we want as men, what we want is for the woman to not be able to give it to anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not really, hey, let's be real. It's not really about the fact that we're getting it, because once we get it the first time, like we know, you know what I mean, it's a wrap. Like we in there. But we want, when we find something that we find that most valuable, we want for it to be selfish, for it to be just ours, right? And taking that woman off the market is basically the only way that you can really guarantee that is just yours.
The reason why we only want her to be solely with us.
Let me say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. And this is why, like the man said, we want a woman that's going to be with us and only us and reserve that poutine strictly for us. We don't need no female that's been around the block with this guy, been around the block with that guy, got kids by that guy. We don't need that, because it's been proven time and time again that when you got women out here with a body count, number one, their value plummets. And number two, it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, for them to try to be faithful to one specific man. So no, we don't want a woman with a high body count. We want that. We want to be the only ones that she's dealing with at that moment. But like I said, thanks to women's liberation, it's like they can sleep with any man without a commitment. So it's put in our brains, okay, what's the point in us wanting relationships and marriages that we can go out there and just score for free, or at the very least do the bare minimum just to get access to a woman sexually? So the women's liberation has really changed things for the worse.
He's right. He's absolutely right with the body count thing and the women liberation, because if you did a test, if you put body counts for all men, let's just say only men, not women, if you put every man's body count on his forehead, nothing would change. Nothing would change, because women are having babies by the same 20% of men. They're having sex with the same 10 or 15 women are having sex with the same guy. They all want the same guy. So that won't change. We know that won't change based on his numbers. But if you switched it around and you didn't put the body count on the man, but you put the body counts on the women, oh, it would change.
You know what's crazy?
A lot of these women wouldn't even get married.
That don't even matter, because women lie about their body count.
Well, it would matter, because then you could see it. I think perception, the perception about it would change. If it was printed, if you would even wear some shame and embarrassment. You don't wear it now because no one can see it. But imagine courting a woman with the number 500 on her forehead to the Marine Corps ball. Imagine that.
Yeah. So that, yeah.
Or imagine this, even worse than the number 500. Imagine branded names on the back of her skin, on her back, on her flesh. Imagine hitting from the back and you see your cousin name in the corner on her shoulder. Like you see your uncle down by the hip bone. Like, damn, all these niggas, like a whole plethora of tattooed names on them. Just imagine that.
This is why I don't see the point in tattooing somebody's name on your body.
Content, Bruiser, content. That's good right there.
That's just like a girl from Rush Hour with the list of names on the back of her bald head.
Oh yeah. I mean,
nobody will watch. Everybody would be afraid of Doggy Style.
Ooh, but I agree to the point you said earlier about if women didn't always give it up, right? And men had to like marry them, then I feel like it won't be so many 304s out there because they're valuing their self a little bit better, which will make the marriage rate go up. Because if they continuously keep giving it up and it's like, you know, your numbers are running, then you're not like, I think one of y'all said, Sharon, maybe they're used to it. They're not going to want to marry you because they already got it from you. So, and then what Sharon said, I agree too. Okay, if you give it up to, let's say, somebody, make sure that if you're going to be exclusive like that, make sure that you're faithful and then be a good woman into being a wife. That man will marry you because he's like, shit, I don't have nothing good out here. This is it. You know, they're not going to say, well, she let me hit it the third night. No. What type of woman are you? You know, you're showing that you're different from the others. You're wife material. They're going to wife you. So just use better judgment on what you're doing. There's a lot of comments. Thank you guys so much for all your comments. I see you having side conversations here. But I want to play some more videos. But I had a question. So men on the panel, are you guys scared? Like I know Bruiser's married, but to get married, are you guys scared to get married because you're scared of the divorce that may happen?
Absolutely.
Okay. So why are you scared of divorce? Hustler.
Because like any typical man, I got the most to lose by getting a divorce. Because think about it. We live in a society where a woman can marry a man, and if she gets bored or whatever, the attraction dies, she can use that as an excuse to, take him to divorce court, take all his resources, take the kids away from him. And there's nothing he can do about it because we all know that these family courts always want to side with the woman. They don't want to hear what the man has to say. They don't care what we men think and what we had to go through. Ever since that old no-fault divorces was created way back in the early to mid-1970s, marriages have been falling short and declining ever since then. So now it kind of puts a lot of burden on us because we have to do whatever it takes to maintain the marriage. And not only that, if she cheats, we still get blamed for it. Never mind the fact that she deliberately did it on her own. Never mind that. They still put the blame on us men. Your wife cheated, it's your fault. You cheat, it's your fault, rightfully so. But either way, it's damned if we do, damned if we don't. So I think we have the most to lose if we end up getting a divorce. That's all I'm saying. What y'all think?
Yeah, I agree with that. With the court system, how it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I say it all the time. It's a lot of guys are going into the relationship, and I don't know if Sharon want to probably respond before me because you haven't been married yet. Maybe you got a fear. You want to talk about that before I respond?
Yeah, so I'm divorced, and I would say my fear, yes, I would say yes, I do have a fear of marriage now. It's not to say that I do want to get married again, but my fear just comes from so in my marriage, I was cheated on.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that did something to me, and it did so much to me that that I've only recently healed from it. Only recently, gotten to the point where I'm emotionally mature enough to be able to understand that I haven't healed yet, and that I needed to do work. So that's when I actually got to work. So I'm only scared in that sense that, if for one, if I get married, I don't want to marry the wrong person again. Like, I really want to marry the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. The other thing too is that if I'm making that choice that this person is the person that I believe that I love unconditional and I believe that will do me right, um, I'm scared of making that decision again and that person doing me wrong.
Oh wow. I think one of these days, you could probably talk to my husband because I'm his second wife. So the wife he had before me cheated on him and had a baby. And after that, he was able to, I don't know how he moved on, but he was able to marry me like after that. So talking to him to see what thought process he had to get through that, because that was tough for him for sure. So yeah, we definitely got to link up one day. But wow, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I actually recognize that a lot of men struggle with this a lot, man, and it don't even take me having to have a conversation or be in the same proximity or even sitting on a panel discussions to know. Like, I just see it everywhere. I see the struggle. So I mean, I can really show some compassion and some trying to figure out the best word for it, remorse for what a lot of men are going through as far as fear. I mean, the fact that being married has become a fear, or wanting to get married has become a fear, is something that I think should be talked about a lot. And I'm glad that you decided to talk about this, because I think that's important if we're going to keep procreating, because marriage is slowing down, but making kids is not. And we
Yeah.
already know that that's becoming a huge problem. So
Mhm.
we really got to figure this out before it gets. I mean, it's already out of hand, but we really got to figure this out if we want to have a black community. We don't have a black community because there's no family. There's no
Mhm.
nuclear family. It's literally destroyed. It's hanging on by the threads of the people who's willing to come and try to make something out of it and make the necessary sacrifices to be in a relationship to raise these kids.
Mhm.
So anybody I ever walk into or I ever meet or I even have a conversation with and they tell me that they're married, I look at those people as the heroes of the day. Those people are the heroes. The people that's married and actually raising their kids are heroes. It's not these big innovators and scientists coming out with these companies and Nike and people coming out with the new Jordans and video games. It's the people that's raising their children in the same household together. So I notice a lot of men are coming up and they don't have the right mindset looking forward to optimize themselves to be a great husband. They lack masculinity. That a lot of them are selfish. They're only thinking about themselves. That's why they're just nutting and I'm sorry, shooting up the club with no means of taking care of the child,
Yeah.
with no skills or anything on raising or kid or being a parent. They
Mhm.
don't they're not optimized to even be parents, but they're actually procreate. And I think what I actually do is sometimes I have one-on-one conversations with guys and I let them know, hey, look, these are the things that you need to be aware of before you go and start having sex. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to have kids, you know what I'm saying, it's probably not even best for you to even get married. I would only like nowadays, I wouldn't even get married if I didn't want to have kids. If I knew I didn't want to have kids, I'm not getting married. It's kind of really like a hustler and Sherm said. It's really like a uneven deal. You know what I'm saying? If things go sour. So because a lot of these guys are afraid, and like I said on the previous panel yesterday, a lot of these guys are afraid to walk up to a modern woman that they want to marry and say, "Can you be submissive?"
Mhm.
Because a lot of women, I think, when women look at the word submissive, they're afraid of that. But if you want me to make all the sacrifices, I got the greatest sacrifice. You want me to do my duty, and still I get an unfair deal if it fails. At least at the least allow me to be the leader of the household. You know what I'm saying? Allow me to make the decisions. Allow me to be the man that I am. Allow me to express my masculinity. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women, these modern women, don't want that.
Yeah.
They don't care if you have, like the lady said, they don't care if you got the bag. They don't care if you got the security. They don't care if you love them. You got to have all these other things. You got to actually fit in their system. It used to be a woman being courted by a man, and she's trying to optimize herself to fit into a man's system, into her husband's system. Now it's the other way around.
Yeah, that's true. It is the other way around.
Correct. And here's
Now
another thing.
everybody has a system.
Women want the perfect man, not necessarily the perfect situation.
That's deep. And here's another thing. It's not so much that women don't want leaders, whether it be of a household or life in general. Women today just don't want to be led by anybody. It could be a good man, it could be a high caliber man, but he can be head of the household, take care of the finances, but he is not in the position to tell that woman what to do, how to act, what to wear, who to hang out with. It's like she wants the benefits of a relationship, but she wants the freedom that comes with being single. That's something I'm noticing a lot of today. That's what they want, but you can't have it both ways. That's where the nonsense comes in.
Now, you know what's crazy? I tell you this, man. I think when it comes down to it, if you're not finding a woman that has a certain level of maturity where she already understands those things, like that she already knows what's appropriate to wear, she already knows what's appropriate to say and do and all of that stuff, then you're starting at a negative anyways, because now you're becoming a teacher instead of, just instead of being a masculine husband or, a masculine partner. Like now you're trying to teach her things that somebody should have taught her a long time ago.
Exactly. And I don't have the time or the patience to try to educate a grown ass person on something they should have learned when they was in middle school or high school. That's just not gonna happen with me. You better come to the table knowing what you're getting yourself into, knowing how to be traditional. Otherwise, get the holy hell away from me. I'll go deal with somebody else.
And I actually believe that if a woman is willing to fit into a system, but she's got to be able to recognize that a man is able to be a leader, because you could make a mistake and think this guy is a leader based. I mean, you can look at charm or can he make you laugh or any of those things. He's not really a person that can lead a household and take care of family. I think if a woman is able to recognize a good system, that a man is able to be a husband and a father and lead the household, and she's willing to submit, I think the fear of being divorced and being able to lose it all, it decreases drastically, because I'm very, very comfortable. I'm very, very comfortable with my wife, and I don't have any fear that she'll walk out of here, because I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I've actually prepared myself to be a husband. And I had to say that when I wasn't when I wasn't on that level that I am now, as capable to carry a household, I was uncomfortable. I was in fear. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, is she checking for other brothers? Because I don't have it all together right now. I'm not established. Is she cheating? Who's she texting? Those things were in my mind. But when I knew I had all my shit together and I was hitting my stride and I can take care of everything and give her ease of mind, those things went away. So I hear a lot of guys on these panels and out here, they don't really have themselves established, but they want it early. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the most of these men don't come into their purpose until they're at around 30, 35 or even higher.
But it's just a certain type of woman too. So you have all these things to provide for your wife, and she may be just a good woman, because if you didn't have it, she still probably would have been with you. Because there's women who just don't want to be with a man, period. He has to have a certain caliber of dollars, and it's still not enough. So I'm gonna play this clip that Sherm actually sent to kind of say what I'm trying to say here about women really just want what they want. So let me share my screen really quick. Yeah, women want what they want, and what I was saying that it's just the expectations are way too high. So let me play that now. All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's to be making.
Let me play it again. I'm like showing y'all all my stuff. All right, here we go.
Ideally, my husband needs to be making like.
It's to be making like.
Okay. My suspicion, she's gonna say 175.
250.
250?
Like 650,000.
I mean, that video was funny.
Yeah, I'm glad you played that. That giving me some editing
Shout
ideas.
out to Abba and Preach.
Editing ideas right there.
It's because, like, I hear everything you saying, Bruiser. Like, you wanted to have your stuff together so you could feel secure, but it's the woman you choose still at the end of the day, because women really want what they want. So you just have a wife that wants the same, and they're cool. They're not expecting you to be like this lady, 650,000. Like, what is she doing to deserve a man with 650,000?
Hey, you know what? You know
that's
what
simple. Looking pretty.
You know what it is?
That's it.
Hustler and Musler. I know what it is. What's happening is she's basing that off the last guy she's been with. Or
correct.
the last situation that she's been in. And everybody does this. Even me, right? I always want, I guess not everybody, but people who want more for themselves. I want more, like I want to make more money than I make right now. Like
right.
I'm at a really good place in my career, but I still want more, right? And I'm only going to want to keep climbing higher and higher and higher. The same thing applies to women in relationships, right? The next guy is going to have to be a step up in some way, from the last guy. And in her case, it's $600-something thousand a year. So the last dude must have been around about 500 because she's higher.
Yeah,
higher and higher, and it just keeps going up. And if I'm being real with you, that's not a bad thing to do for yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Why go linear when you can go up? Why go down?
But for a woman, it's different, because when a woman goes, when she goes up over time, the things she can bring to the table as far as her value, you know what I'm saying, it decreases over time. So it makes sense for her to be aligned with her value. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of women run into a period where they become delusional. You know what I'm saying? Because they expect the same out of a guy for the same value they had when they were there in their early 20s or mid 20s as they are in their late 30s. And a lot of guys are not down with that. And I could say that, to your point, it does make sense for a woman to be like, it's a hypergamous nature. And what I did was, and the reason why I felt uncomfortable, and this could be the solution to the fear right here, what I'm about to say. The reason why I felt uncomfortable, because I saw her father's body of work. He was a military, he retired in military as a major in the Air Force. And then he retired as a DOD civilian. He gave everything to his kids. He had several kids, and they had everything. You know what I'm saying? He raised them right. So when I saw that, I looked at her father and I was like, look, I cannot be nothing short of that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm anything short of that, then that gives me an understanding why I was afraid. You know what I'm saying? That I could lose this girl because I wasn't at that level.
Yeah,
and
I understand how that works.
Solid dude.
And their father pretty much gave her an understanding of the man. If I raise you right, these are the men that you need to go for, because these are the men that you qualify for, based on your upbringing, based off of your principles, based off what me and your mother instilled in you. And whenever I got to that, whenever I saw him, I was like, I looked at myself am I capable of even portraying that or giving his daughter that life? And when I figured out that I was able to do it, that gave me ease of mind to say, okay, yeah, I can marry this woman and she will be okay with me because I can portray what her father portrayed for her and her mother.
Wow.
And that is what I would say the solution is to the fear. You have to, and this might take away, this is going to cut down your selection process. If you find a woman who doesn't have a father that's in a household with a mother, it's going to be more difficult for you. But if you can manage to find a woman who has a father at home, who's proven, who has the results, and you can go and look at his body of work and say, am I capable of portraying that for the sake of marrying this man's daughter? If you're capable of doing that, then you can marry this woman. You would not have any fear of her walking out of your life. But if you marry a skeezer, a woman who's raised by a single mom, on Section 8 and all these things, and she's going after from her mother is hopping from guy to guy, her father is not in her life, I think the chances increase that woman is going to be more promiscuous, and she'll probably end up leaving you if you can't satisfy her happiness. You know what I'm saying? Solely.
Sexually. Yeah.
Yeah. And she'll be gone. And she'll be justified. You know why? Because that's what she come from.
That's a good point. And I'm glad you was able to bring that out. Hustler, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, it sounds like you're dealing with a daddy's girl in that first scenario. And that's my biggest thing about the daddy's girl. It's like if the man can't measure up to what her father was or what he used to be back when he was younger, it's like, oh, you're not going to be good enough for her daughter, so there's no sense in you marrying her. I had a homeboy in college who went through something like that. The girl he was dating, her father had a plethora of accomplishments, but he felt like he was afraid that he couldn't quite measure up to that. So that's why I say if you have daughters or whatever, there's nothing wrong with you raising your child to have a standard, but don't have the standards be too outrageous to where they got to measure up to what the father is. Because basically, everybody not going to be able to meet you where you at. Everybody don't want to be in the military. I didn't want to join the military. I too come from the military. I was a vet myself at one point. Everybody can't do that. So you can't put those. So you can't be around here putting too many expectations on what kind of man she needs to be with, because ain't nobody perfect. Everybody ain't gonna meet you right there. They have to be more realistic and more consistent. Because let's face it, let's say she does meet a guy that can meet all of that, but he's the worst human being in the world with no character, no morals, no common decency, none of that. So you have to be on the lookout for that too. So
yeah, I like that point for the ladies listening. Like he said, the man can have all of that and he's still no good for you. So make sure you have a man of honor and respect to you and your family. If he can't respect you or your family, or he respects you, but he doesn't respect your family. You ever seen a guy disrespect a woman in the family? You don't want to be with a man like that. That's not a man that is going to be a lifetime partner and a husband. If he can respect family members that he don't like that's in your family, that's a good one, because we're responsible adults. We know how to not take things so personal, so where we got to curse people out. You still have to respect others. So if that man is respecting others, even though he may not like this person in your family, you have a good one. And the men who are out there that don't like women in their wives' family or whatever, make sure if you're not respectful, be respectful, because you can't come off because that person disrespects you. You got to disrespect them back, because you're not showing a good example to your kids or your wife, because you wouldn't want your wife or your person to disrespect your mom or your aunties, right? Unless y'all just both doing that, then that's y'all too, and y'all got to deal with it together.
That's a good point.
But
how old was Lori Harvey when
I have no idea.
Steve Harvey came into her life?
I don't know. I keep seeing this like she was real young, like 9 or something like that. And her dad,
because I will say, depending on how old you are, as a woman, as a daughter, being raised by a successful father, if you're at the age where you can actually understand how life is, and your father is already established and rich or whatever, then you won't have as much grace to grow with the woman. Because what the grace came from me was, my daughter was old enough to see her dad climb from poverty to being established and being very successful. And when she saw that motivation, that work ethic that he had, she was able to give me, she was able to recognize that I wasn't already there, but I had the work ethic and the energy and the motivation to get there. That's where the grace came from for me. Because she recognized, hey, look, you actually got to do work to get here. But if you're dating a daughter that grew up and she's born into a family, like if I have a daughter now and I'm already established, my daughter never witnessed me work hard to get to where I'm at, it's going to be hard for the brothers out there that's going to want to date her because she's never seen poverty. She's never seen a man work from the ground up. So men, pay attention to those type of women. You really, if you take anything from this conversation, it is very important to know who these women parents are.
Yeah.
It's important to know their pathology or the route they took to come to into who they are. That'll tell you a lot about what she expects out of you.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Definitely look at the parents and her upbringing. Now, we're not saying that people, their upbringing is going to shape them and they're going to be like their upbringing. You have to see that change in that person from the jump. Don't think they're going to change because now you're in their life and you think you're going to change somebody. If someone has deep trauma like that, let them change on their own because guess what? You cannot help them, especially if it's like really, really bad. You want a person with severe trauma to understand that they're better than what they came from. It's not their fault. They was just thrown in a situation. You have to let them understand that. And sometimes it takes other people. It might take them watching around their surroundings or therapy or whatever it is that you guys use. But let them be already kind of healed from that before you jump into it. Because I'd never like to say you can't be with someone because they have trauma. Because there's people who come out of that and they're amazing people that's out there. So I don't want to say don't be with them and we're going to be one track minded. Just have like understanding, like wisdom. Don't just be picking random people and like, oh yeah, they're going to change. No. So yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Anything, Sherm, you wanted to say to that?
I had something that I did, but I forgot it. I was just
What's
letting
up,
y'all.
Jeff Rules? Oh.
Usually when that happens, somebody on the panel probably covered it. He was like, yeah.
Yes. Thanks for being here. Thank you guys for giving some more insight into this chat. Jones Boy 804 says integrity, good morals, compass and respect, agreed. What's up? It's Party Lime. As Party Lime says, would you be willing to fall back if their father disapproves?
Is she talking about the man?
If you like a woman, but her father disapproves of you.
So no.
I don't think so.
No. I'm gonna just say no.
Me personally, I would, because if I had a daughter and I didn't want my daughter to date this guy based off of, I think the father has the best judgment, and I would respect her father and I would fall back. I would not pursue her, but to Sherm's point, I would not deny her if she wanted to deviate from her father. You know what I'm saying?
Man, guys are super irrational, right? And super quick to say one thing or the other, right? And the same thing goes with fathers. A father's natural response to anyone coming close to his loved ones is no, right? So it would just take, I would work for it. You know what I mean? If the father says no initially, you would just have to work for it and have to get him to the point where he understands that you're serious and you're seriously committed about his daughter. And someone who's showing that much commitment and effort is eventually going to get that blessing.
I don't know, Sherm. I think if a father actually says I disapprove, I don't think it's any. I don't think and is any work you could do if he's already made up his mind to say, I disapprove. And if I allow her to pursue me, and if I fall back, I would tell her, look, your father disapproved of me. The only way I'm gonna continue to allow you to be around me or move forward, you got to keep communicating with your father. Because I know a lot of women, even when their father disapproves, they'll still go behind his back and still trying to keep a relationship going with the guy they desire. But I think if a father says, "Hey, look, I don't approve of you. I don't want you around my daughter," I'm not gonna even fight it. I think if you continue to do that, you're just gonna build more anger, and you're gonna force him to accept you for the sake of his daughter's emotions and feelings. Because if his daughter comes to him, his I don't have a daughter, but I would expect that a father's heart is mostly within his daughters, making sure he give her everything she wanted, need. And if she come to him begging and crying, and you give him that little face and that little tug, like, please, daddy, I could just imagine my heart crumbling to a point that we're like, damn, okay,
Got it,
I'll
man.
deal with this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I say no. I say no, but in my adult life, I've never had to deal with a father who said no. So I'm just saying.
Ooh.
I'm just saying from my experience.
I think
But
he's just being
I will say this
conceited
too,
now.
though. When I was a teenager,
Always.
Light skin behavior.
hey, when I was a teenager, I dated a white girl, and
Ooh.
her father
Ooh,
didn't
you
approve.
just lost a lot of subscribers, bro.
I'm keeping it real with you, my G. When I was a teenager, and it was young in my teens, like I liked a white girl, and her father was racist,
Ooh.
and he disapproved, like outwardly, openly disapproved, and like her and I still talked, like we still talked on the phone or whatever, and I used up my mama minutes or whatever, but it was like I guess eventually it kind of fell off because of the different paths that we were going in life. But that was, I guess, that was my first real experience of racism. And that was my first real experience of, somebody's father not want me anywhere near their daughter. So,
Okay. Now I'm not trying to get too personal on here with that, but the woman that you're talking about, did you marry that one?
no,
Okay.
no. I'm talking about when I was a teenager.
Oh, okay. Teenager. All right.
Yeah, I
All
was young.
right. You was young. I want to give my insight on this question and to Bruce's point, but Hustler, do you have a statement to answer to this question? Would you be willing to fall back if their father disapproves?
Yes, I will, because I've seen how this kind of stuff play out. The parents, or in this case, the father doesn't approve of you dating their daughter or whatever. You got to fall back because you don't want to drive a wedge between, the family and yourself. So no, I say just leave that alone, move on and find somebody else. Like the brother just said, all that sneaking around stuff will just create more and more tension between the girl that you're with and the father or the parents of that young girl. So no, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't deal with it. I'm just gonna move on and meet somebody else, hopefully.
But what if she's a good woman and you're like, she got the body, the face, or whatever it is that you like? You gonna let her go because of her dad?
Well, I'll get over it eventually.
Hey,
She ain't the
what?
only good woman in the world.
I tell you what, if that dad disapproves, it's just as much her fault as it is yours.
That's where I'm about to go
Because
to it.
yeah, and I tell you why. It's her fault because she hasn't shown her dad that you're worthy of her. She
Yeah.
has shown him that you have her heart. If a dad sees that a daughter is truly happy, and if a dad sees that a daughter is, that this person is who she really loves, it's super hard for a dad not to support that. And if that dad is not supporting that, then she hasn't shown him enough, I guess, of anything to go, I guess, to go forward or to go off of. So it's just as much her fault as it is yours.
I'm glad you said that because that was gonna
Makes
be
sense
my
to
point.
me.
So I
Oh,
am
both of them.
guilty. I am guilty of before I got with my husband, I used to like if we were going through things, I never was the one to talk to my friends about my business. I would tell my parents, right? Because I was raised the only child, so I'm not connected like that with just outsiders. So I told my dad, I told my mom, every goddamn argument, okay? And because like I said before, me and my husband in the beginning, we had a rough start. We learned each other's triggers in the relationship. That's how we learned. And traumas. I know I had trauma, but I didn't know it was making me how I was at the time. So I used to tell my parents, and they didn't like him. They was like, because I used to tell them all the stuff I seen on my point of view, and like, you know what? No, I don't need to talk crazy. And they did not. They was like, no, if he is who you say he is not the one for you. They disapproved. My father disapproved my husband like months before we got married because he still was thinking, because I didn't tell him the good stuff while I was still with him. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It's not that my husband was bad. It's just that the arguments we had in my brain were bad. So I used to bad talking basically. And I learned, I was very immature. That's why it took us 3 years to get married. I was mature and then I was immature at the same time, right? So me telling my parents all of my business is immature. So you ladies that's out there doing that, take your parents or whoever that you tell your stuff to, do not tell them. You're gonna have to, you and your partner are gonna have to work on that on your own and figure it out. Because I had to learn the hard way. Now, my husband did not he was more like Sherm and Sherm. I think you're the only one that said you will still keep going forward. He was more like Sherm because he knew he was good for me. It's just that my father didn't know that he's good. So I had to do my job to explain to them he's a good man because blah, 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 blah. And this is why, because he did blah, blah, blah. So you got to make sure that these fathers that saying they disapprove, why are they disapproving? Is it because, like Sherm said, you're not showing or, showing them that this man is this way, or are you bad talking this man and that's why they disapprove of him? So be careful with that.
I would try to respond to that. I can totally understand that. And from what I see in is every man has a different way of winning the father's approval. And some of these men, and it's clear from what y'all are saying, relies on the responses and behavior and qualification and validation solely from the woman, because she's the one that's running back, transferring the information that the father needs to use in order to make an approval or disapproval on whether he's a good man. What I would challenge the man to do is, instead of allowing the woman, because a woman she move off of her emotions, and it could be very biased and sway the opinions of the parents. I would challenge every man, if you really want to be with this woman and you really want to make her your wife, do what I did. What I did was I want to spend time with the family. Anytime there was a holiday, anytime there was a family event, I was there. I traveled up there. Me and my wife went to school at Virginia State University. Her parents lived in Woodbridge, Virginia. Every time we got to go home for the weekend, we went together and we stayed tonight at the house.
Yeah.
And during fall breaks, we even stayed weeks there. So even when she would run to her parents and say, "Oh, he did this and he did that," and they knew that a lot of that stuff was in BS.
Yep.
Because they knew that I wasn't that type of guy. They knew that I was a better man than that. And a lot of the stuff, she was biased on what she was saying. We would even have arguments in front of them, and they would be able to see her BS and be able to make a determination on whether I was a good man or I was a bad man. Because it's this thing called proximity. If you're around the parents enough, they can be able to see through the BS that the daughter comes back and say that could damage his reputation. So I think it's important for you to spend time with this family, mother and father. If you can just go up there and hang out on 4th of July or Christmas or New Year's or Thanksgiving, just being around them to give them an understanding of who you are as a man and whether or not you'll be a good husband is way more important than just allowing her to go take the information that she got and for them to depend on how she feels and how you making her feel and not able to make their own discernment by being around you.
I agree, and that's exactly what I had to do. I had to, because I can't tell them. They had to see him. So we did the same thing. I took him around. He met them before, but this time no, we were staying for the 3-day weekends, all that. There was a time we stayed 6 days, 10 days, and they seen. It was like, oh, I like him. Oh, he's real good. Oh, so you were saying all this stuff. Okay. So it was the same thing for me. But that's how I grew up, though.
Because now, whenever my wife would go and say some bad stuff about me, they would say, "Oh, let me let me see. Oh, you lying."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a challenge now. Like, let's see if this is real now.
Yeah. So that's a tip for you all. Definitely hang around the parents. It's not to like make them like you. It's just you're gonna show them who you are. And if they don't like who you are, that's another situation. And then we figure out, well, okay, well, what's the problem? Because there's some toxic parents. Then you and your soon-to-be wife or wife, y'all figure that out. But for the most part, the parents need to know you, and you need to know their parents. It goes both. Do it the same all the way around.
And the dangers of being with a woman who don't have a father in her life and who's in poverty. Not saying that you should stay away from them, but there's a risk that come with it. And I had a relationship with a girl who she was living in the project. She was a beautiful, beautiful black woman. I'm talking about gorgeous, smart. She was in school. She had aspirations, but her mother instilled in her mind when she saw me. Her mother was also attracted to me.
Oh,
But her
God.
mother saw that I had money, I was in the military, I was established, or I had
Come
some
on,
sort of
mom. Come on, mom.
no, I was at some level of where her mom thought I was
Yeah.
just this guy. Like the guys that she would run into wasn't even, on the level I was. And she was like, girl, I could hear her in the down the hallway. He got money, he got a car, you better not fuck this up. He got all that. That's the one you need. And she would have still let in her mind to where she would only be with me because I had all these possessions and these assets. So if I got into a relationship with her and I would lose these things, then the things that she got with me were gone. She would also leave too. So you run
Wow.
the risk of that. So
Wow.
you run a risk of that. So you need to be able to find a woman that can see you for more than just what you're able to. The resources, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to build, y'all need to be friends. Y'all need to have a stronger connection.
Yeah, because we gotta speak to the ones that don't have parents out there. If you find someone that don't have a support system, then you just have to really spend a lot of time with that person individually, and maybe get close with. I don't like to say friends, but if she had a one or two people, or he got one or two people, get to know those two people, and go from there. Because not everybody is fortunate to have this life that we're saying. So now I want you wanted to say something?
I'm sorry, Lady Di. Yeah, just one thing to that point, I guess, to just piggyback off of what you were saying. Um, People out there, if you're listening, if you're watching, keep them parents, keep your family, keep your friends out of your marriage, out of your relationship. Because when it comes down to it, they don't forget. Like, they don't forget nothing. And there's gonna come a point in time where y'all gonna argue, y'all gonna fuss, y'all gonna fight, you're gonna tell them everything, and then there's gonna come a point in time where you guys have moved past those things, but your family hasn't. So just keep them people out your marriage and out your relationships. That's all I want to say on that one.
And I think to that point, I get what you're saying, but I think everybody has different benefits. For me personally, it actually worked out for me. And I would say the reason why it worked out because her parents were married. Now her mother was
True.
like alone or single and bitter and all that stuff, then yeah, I would tell her like, look, don't go to her. She's gonna be completely biased. She already saying man ain't S word. But because my wife had uh parents that were married and they loved and they had a successful marriage, they became our counselors. And when we had problems, we actually went to those and it worked out.
Hey,
But
and that is awesome. That's awesome that it worked.
Yeah,
But that is so rare.
it is.
That's so rare to find, man.
It is.
that's amazing. And you know, um, That's a good point you said. So if your parents are married, especially, you know, they've been married long, they still married. Yeah, that would be your perfect counselors. I agree to that. So you definitely hit
I'm
jackpot
talking
on
about
that.
they've been married for 30 years. So
Wow. It's amazing.
yeah, man, I there's no way I want that smoke. Like, hey, look, they done been here and done that. These probably be the most qualified people to talk to,
True.
especially the ones who raised you. They can tell me some stuff about you as a childhood that I need to protect. Nah.
Yes. Just Rule says, though I'm unmarried, never really thought about fearing divorce from a woman. My fear is unfaithfulness, which will be my only my thing. I'm sorry, you guys. I will have to fix that. Which will be my only reason for a possible divorce, not having unfaithfulness in my life. Yeah, if you run the playback on this, we were actually talking about the unfaithfulness on here. Head in
Hold
the
on, somebody said that they were afraid that they would be unfaithful.
Well, Sherm said earlier that he was cheated on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but did you go into and you don't have to. Did you go into detail why?
Oh,
What,
well, I guess.
why I was cheated on?
Oh gosh, we we
I,
trying to
I,
dig.
I tell you what, I I didn't get an answer for that. Like I legit didn't get any um I guess you could say closure on that at all.
That is
Uh,
why you got fear. You don't have any
so
closure.
no, it's well, I mean, it wasn't for a lack of asking.
But
It was
imagine
like,
imagine you having a business that fell and you got to go and start another business. The same skills, the same asset,
well,
same
but
technology.
I'm
But you
sure
don't know what made it fail. Aren't you going to be afraid to start a business again?
yes, but I'm sure that would have been like it would have been great to know that, but um like a I don't know kind of thing, when I asked. So I can't like force an answer out of her. I
Oh,
can't
so
like
you did ask.
yeah, I did ask.
Ah, that is
Yep.
that's very selfish for her not to tell you like what it is that you could have done better or what it is that you did to trigger her to want to go do that.
Well, what did she
I
say?
feel sorry for you, honestly.
What did she say though?
She said I don't know.
I don't know.
That I don't know. I just did.
There's
Ooh.
no way. No way, man.
Yeah, man.
And this question was asked when she probably was young and immature. And maybe if you ask this question today, not saying that you should go and try to open up old wounds, but I think if you would ask the question, if she's probably over it and actually has some time to think of, she might be able to give you an answer. And that answer might be able to allow you to get rid of that fear because then you'll be able to understand, damn, this is what happened. Now I know not to move this way, or now I know not to put up with this. Now I can be open to a marriage again.
I think my openness to a marriage again has kind of manifested itself and kind of evolved into what it is now, because of I guess because of being able to not forget anything that's happened in my past, but forgive for sure. And I'm not saying that it's like a blind forgiveness, but it is one that, even without the most solid of answers that I would have wanted, it's still me being able um, to forgive and move past it, because I can't like my life doesn't stay there. Like it doesn't get stuck on, somebody doing something to me in the past. I have to be able to move on. I have to be able to live my best life and give somebody all of this amazingness that I have
Exactly.
at some point. You know what I mean? And I can't do that if I'm not my best self. But my best self is not determined on that piece of information from her.
Oh,
I
okay.
was, okay, that's good. Because I was gonna say, so when you guys were together, did you let's see, did you have a good marriage with her?
Ish.
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 Okay.
It wasn't without its faults, I'll say that. I will say that I was completely in love with this woman. I will say that I do, looking back at it and after, doing a lot of self-reflection, I think that I was more in love with her than she was in love with me.
Mm. And it's nothing really wrong. I mean, I don't want to say like that. I think you guys should love each other equally in a sense, but I think men typically love more on their wife because they have to do a lot more for them. Like you guys protect and do all of the stuff. So you're going to have a certain level of love to a woman. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I would say like maybe she just was like that. She would have cheated on somebody else too. I don't think
Possibly, but
yeah, that's why yeah.
I think the imbalance was abnormal though. Like it was super super abnormal. Like of how much like I felt like I guess how much I felt like I loved her more than she loved me. So
Mm,
there was that. There was also a lot of abuse. And going through it then, I didn't really know what it was, but like I was definitely emotionally and mentally abused in my marriage.
oh, yeah.
And I didn't really realize it until afterwards, like years later.
Mm,
But there was also like psychological manipulation that was going on. It was a lot.
yeah, that's definitely a lot to talk about one day. Probably not on here, but yeah, that's deep. Cause sometimes marriages like what you're talking about, that happens a lot in marriages. Like people just staying together because it's convenient, but they not really together. Like, like what you're saying, you was in love with this woman and even with all of that, you still was in love and she just wasn't that tight. Um, so hmm. Just Rules, thank you so much for the Cash App and the support as always. I had a question for y'all. So I wanted to flip this question. Would you be willing to fall back if the mother disapproved of you?
Um, if the mother disapproved,
Yeah.
no,
I mean, I
not at
know
all.
no weight like a father, but women have really severe influence on their daughters. So
No, I wouldn't fall back out at all if it was a mother, especially if it's a single mother,
ooh,
because
okay.
I would be a husband. Somebody wanted to marry the daughter of a single mom, taking that off of you. Not saying that it's like a burden or something.
Uh-huh.
She should be happy, enormously happy. Like there's no way she could say, "Look, I don't approve you marrying my daughter." I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not backing off. If there's a father, yeah, if there's another man in a way, masculine presence, masculine energy, masculine authority. I'm
Hmm.
saying a father that's raising these kids, yeah, but a mother, no. I don't think she can make the right discernment. A woman can't make the right. I don't believe personally a woman can make the right discernment on who she should marry. That's why the father is the one who walks a woman down the aisle.
Hmm.
A woman is not walking a woman down the aisle unless she's, uh, uh, got a sex change or something like that. But that doesn't happen. That wouldn't impede uh, my persistence to be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish, as far as getting this woman to be my wife.
Right.
I think I think my answer is the exact opposite, and we've been opposing on I guess on this same question going forward. It's like for me, for a mom, that would probably make me rethink a lot of things. If that mom is more disapproving, now I would still take some of the same approaches and still try and gain that mom's favor, but at the end of the day, like I think the mom's opinion holds more weight, and I think that because
More
of
weight than the father.
I think I think a mom's influence on a daughter is unparalleled, and um, a mom really sees a lot of things differently, right, and wants a lot of different things for her daughter, in a lot of cases that men don't see because the mom has dated men, the mom has been with men, the mom may be divorced from a man.
It's not working. I'm about to put it. My bad. Go
So
ahead, Sharon.
yeah, I would say I would heavily consider it a little bit more if a mom had hesitations or disapproved than
But
a father.
why is the custom traditionally skewed towards A man.
Because because the father is meant to, I guess, even looking back at talking back to our conversation that we had before, when a man is giving his daughter away, or when a man is approving or disapproving, um, it's a man's job to give his blessing to the union, not necessarily that specific guy or that person, right? How are you and his daughter as a couple, or as a whole? Not necessarily how are you as a guy, right? Because you could be you could be a shitbag. His daughter could be a rock star. You two get together, you could be the best thing since sliced bread, right? So the union makes sense. But when you look at it the other way, it's like, no, like now I have now I'm in a situation where, or I guess I could say that's what he's there for, right? To bless the union. That's why traditionally your man is going to be giving the daughter away, right? Because he's now saying that, hey, I approve of them two going forward, and this is what our last name, or my namesake, is, giving to you, to now you can give her your last name, and you guys can present yourselves to the world as one. But I mean, that's only ceremonial, though. Like, when it comes
Okay,
down,
so I don't. Okay, I get what you're saying, but I don't believe and I don't believe it, and I don't. According to my research, I never understood it to the father's blessing to be only for this to bless a union. I've even go as far back as for to a point where
I'm
even before a woman would meet a man, the father would actually go out and
well,
find
I
the husband for the
Bruiser,
woman.
and I'm thinking about it more of a, I guess, more from a psychological standpoint, like, and more of a mental standpoint, that when it comes down to it, like, it's the blessing, right? The man is giving his blessing to that union, right? Those
I think
together.
blessing to the union is more like a way to short phrase it. I mean, there's a lot of work that that happens behind the scenes before a father makes a determination to actually bless off on a marriage or a union.
In some cases, yeah. In some cases, no. Actually,
I think in most
are we
cases where the father is involved
look how
in the
far we
kid's life.
look how far we come from a man making a decision that a woman is going to get married to another man.
Well, I get that society has an impact on it to take away the moral compass of the whole point, but traditionally and the way it's
E-
been going, you
Even
know,
in the older days, when the man would say, "Hey, like, this is a woman," or a man would say, "Hey, she's going to get married to him," right?
Mhm.
The daughter, being scared, being young, being inexperienced, she doesn't look to the dad for guidance. Who does she look to?
Yeah.
no. Back in the days, it
Who
was
she
not.
talk to?
It was totally different that then.
Back in the day, Matt, I'm talking about when it came down to it, and the dad, and there were arranged marriages. That daughter, a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 14-year-old, however old teenager, marrying a grown man, the daughter not knowing what's going on, not knowing how she should, treat somebody, not knowing how she should feel about this. She never asked that man anything. She never asked her
It was
she never,
totally. It was.
sorry, her father. She never asked her father a thing.
That's not how it was, bro.
You're talking about back in the day, like what time frame?
Nah, I know what he's talking about. It wasn't like that. Whenever the father would send his daughter would go find the husband for her, they literally made sure their daughter was ready to be a wife. The
Who did
father
the
would not leave the house to go find the husband until he confirmed that his
until he
daughter was,
with who?
huh?
Until he confirmed with who?
He confirmed that she was able to be a wife to a husband.
With who? Who verified this?
The
The mom.
father.
The
No,
mom verified it.
the
He confirmed
father.
with
The
her
father
mother.
look. Listen, this might sound creepy to you, but I got to find the book that I read this from. The father would evaluate his daughter on whether she could be his wife.
Ooh.
It might sound like incest to you, But this was an evaluation that took place. And when the father knew that, look, she's appealing, she's attractive, she can be a housewife, she knows how to cook, clean, do all these things. She is ready to be a wife. I could marry my daughter. Whenever he was able to confirm that, okay, I got to go find a husband for my daughter. And he went away from his home and he found a husband. Or a worthy man in the area, in the surroundings, saw his daughter and asked the father. They never went to the mother at all. They went straight to the father and asked the father, can I marry your daughter?
No question. The daughter goes to the mother. In most cases, the daughter gonna go to the mom and ask, like, hey, like,
she don't ask anything. The daughter goes to the mother and gets femininity. She gets her womanly quality, her nurturing nature from the mother. That's it.
And
she's talking about like,
prove my point.
She didn't go to the mother to say, hey, look, is this guy good enough? No, that was the father.
No. But she goes to the mother to say, I'm scared.
The issues, I think he's talking about, like, when there's problems, she's not gonna go to her dad, especially the dads you talking about. They were real, like, cold type, like they love their daughter, but they real direct. Like, you know, women are more emotional, so she feels she could talk to a woman about her problems more than her father. And
I'm not arguing against her going with her womanly problems or emotions.
No,
or
not women. No. So I'm saying, I think what he's saying is, I think today women needs to start asking men instead of asking women on how to deal with situations with their man. Because
I don't think he's saying that. Is he saying that?
What I'm saying is that the mother's opinion is for a daughter. In most cases, the woman's opinion is held higher than the father's is. That's what I'm saying.
Oh well, okay. Well, I agree. I get what you're saying, but what,
Lady Di, you might have to kind of answer that for us. Like you as a woman, like before you were getting married, like whose opinion did you hold higher? Would your mom or your dad's?
So it depends on the parents. So I'm gonna generally answer it for the women today. They're going to depend on their mother or a female influence that's in their life. They're not going to depend on any man with that. And I think that's what's screwing a lot of women over today, because they asking the wrong females. Unless you asking a woman that is married and she's feminine, like what Bruiser's saying, and she could keep her marriage, then cool. But y'all not even asking women like that. So men, I think for me, it was like both, and it was mostly my father though, because he had more logic to situations or things that was going on, and he was able to give me a more in-depth answer because he's a man, just like my husband's a man. So that was better for me, because if I go off of my mother, her responses were emotional, and me being like that, I wouldn't even be married. Look, when I say that, she probably no, but it's true. I wouldn't be married. I'm gonna be real with you. So no. Men that understand their purpose in life and they execute that, you have to talk to these men. A lot of men want to be married anyway. So let's be real with that. It's just that y'all women not wife material. So y'all gotta be better at that. It's gonna make me play my video. I don't normally like to react to my own video, but I'm gonna do it today.
If it's a good content, I would.
I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it today. So, you women today, y'all not wives. You know what y'all doing? Y'all like, you know what? I'm not gonna show him my value. I'm gonna just be this cold ass female because he doesn't deserve me. And how he gonna deserve something that he doesn't know? So if you are a good ass woman, show it, because then he's gonna be able to make a decision. Because guess what? You and all the other pretty girls that he's seeing, how he gonna be with you and he got 10 other, I'm just using these numbers, but he got 10 other women that has been asking for him. So it is a competition. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying you got to be extremely competitive and doing all this extra jealousy, envious stuff. No, but you need to show who you are to these men and stop playing around. So I'm gonna play this clip for y'all. And it's actually a reaction video to Bruiser's video. That video is funny to me. I can't wait to watch it, you guys. I'm gonna share the link. I think his video, what I remember you guys saying, it was dropping Sunday, right, Bruiser?
I don't think
Sunday at 8.
Good man.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
Sunday at 8 o'clock.
Sunday at 8 o'clock. Okay. Sorry, you guys, that wasn't supposed to play, but here we go. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna play the So this video is like, I'm just speaking to the modern woman today. A lot of modern women, y'all don't want to work to get this type of man. And I think y'all need to stop that. You want a man, you need to show this man who you are, if you are a good one, and let him know that you mean business. He'll wipe you up real quick. So let me play it now.
I don't think just being a good man is enough. But honestly, I don't fuck with his humor.
He's a good man, but because he's not funny, you gotta throw that out.
Y'all ladies want to look like Michael B. Jordan, but act like Kevin Hart, but have Jay-Z money. And y'all want to...
Because can you build a house?
Sis, where you gonna find that at? Even the richest is ugly as guys are chasing things that will never be. You will never have 100% of anything. Just like the man that you want, you will never be 100 for him. And the reason why you would never be at 100 is because you're not consistent. Men love consistency. They like consistent sex, they like consistent support, and they like consistent sauteed food, but y'all can never do none of that. All y'all know how to do is be a consistent side chick. So if you want to become a wife, act like one now, before you get the ring.
All right, y'all. So
please tell me you got a TikTok.
I do. And I think it's actually going off. Let me see. I don't think it went viral because some of my videos it be hitting sometimes. But no, like I'm just being real. Like you guys, I want whoever's watching this that's a woman and that's not married, you guys gotta understand something. Like what I was saying, I'm just being real with you. So the lady that was saying she wanted somebody funny, right? But he's a good man. We all want somebody, most women want somebody funny, but you're going to just take that part and not be with him because of that. But then, like I was saying, a lot of you guys don't know how to be consistent. And I mentioned sex because sex is one of them. Sex is one of them. A lot of you women are having sex not as much as you should be, especially if the man is wanting sex. That's the perks of being in a relationship. I don't understand why you're treating your man as if you guys are single, or you treat your man that has friends with benefits better. And that's weird to me. So I'm going to play another clip to make my point here. Hold on, let me play that. You guys are having sex with people. Oh, you guys can see all that, huh? All right, my bad. All right, I'm gonna play it right now. Why is it not? See, I gotta get better at this. Here we go. I'm sorry.
Committed relationship should be like the gym. You know, like we all know we have to exercise to be healthy, right?
We don't see the video.
You don't hear it?
We hear it, but I think the video is probably playing on a different screen, computer screen, maybe.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Okay.
One day I'm gonna show you a technique I use to be able to play these videos.
Yeah, please. So yeah, we'll talk about that. All right, I'm gonna get it again. Hold on, y'all. So you guys, like I was saying, okay, sex is not like the biggest thing of a relationship, but it is big. So men have a certain type of sexual drive that a lot of women sometimes can't match. And I'm not saying you got to be perfect at that, but you got to have some type of level of understanding that this is an important role. You got to be able to feel it. If you can't feel it, then I mean, you shouldn't be married. I'm gonna just be real. All right, let's see if we can hear it. Okay.
Necessarily be the top of your priority, but even when you're not doing it, in the back of your head, you know what I need? I know I need to move more. I know I need to exercise more. Sex, when you're in a committed relationship, is the exact same way. You have got to make a commitment to provide it in some way, shape, or form, or else the bitter energy is going to take over the relationship and take hold. And before you know it, things that weren't a problem before now are a problem. Well, you didn't used to complain about that. Well, yeah, but at the base of the complaint is really the lack of sex. So please make the time and the commitment to bring intimacy into your relationship so that, when the bills are due, maybe there's a death in the family, whatever have you, you will have that strong physical connection to help make things just feel a little brighter. But when the job sucks, the finances sucks, you're grieving, and then you don't have anyone that you can reach out to like hug and touch, who's supposed to be doing those things, it is a drag and it creates anger and resentment. Sex.
So yeah, I liked how she broke that down some. What do you think about that, Bruiser?
She's right, man. Yeah, it should be like what she say, like going to the gym, right?
Yeah, sex is like going to, but see, women don't even go to the gym.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was getting to. Like, damn, but do they
Look,
really go to the gym?
everybody not like Bruiser wife over there. She over there fit as hell.
Man, look, you got to understand, man. For her to be fit like that, I had to be able to shape her lifestyle to where she could compensate for the time and energy to put into the gym. There's a lot of guys out here that want their wife to be working and want to do 50-50 relationships and still want her to, be that, have those womanly duties at home. What up, Mana D? And they still want them to be beautiful and at their best shape. And it's really kind of difficult. So
yeah.
I told her, I said, look, I'm gonna put us in a position to where we could still sustain our lifestyle, be happy, have kids, and you'll still be able to go to the gym because I like a woman that's fit. That's a preference over me. You ain't got to be Beyonce, you ain't got to be Kelly Rowland, but just be in shape. I think health is very important for longevity too. You know what I'm saying? You can get some attraction off of seeing them really, really nice shape every day, man. It just does
Yeah.
something for me. That's just my point.
And I'm glad you're bringing your male insight because that's what I say. You want your man to be attracted to you, like as much as he could get attracted to you. So if it's every day, that's what's up. You're doing a good job. And it's not that you're less than because your body is not in the best place, but at least you're trying to make it that way and then make it that way. Men, we all know, are visual people. So if he got you a certain way, try to keep it up because then it's like it's not fair to him because he married you to look like this, and then you looking like somebody, or you looking like your middle name. You ain't your first name no more. You know what I'm saying? You need to make sure that you are still that woman that he married or that he found interest in, because now it's like he's married to somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I know they use this thing called body positivity.
mhm.
But body positivity kind of takes away sex appeal. You know,
Yeah.
it kind of takes away the importance or the impact that sex appeal has on someone's desire for you. So I listen, I get it. Everybody can't be proportioned, and everybody don't have the money for surgery, but just try to be the best version of yourself. I think body positivity kind of says just be comfortable with what you look like, and you don't need to do anything to do any different. They should accept you for who you are, and that's a way to shield laziness. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just be the best of who you are. You might even when you're at your best, that doesn't mean that you're gonna be absolutely gorgeous. You're just gonna be more. You're just gonna show that the person that wants to be with you that you're actually working towards something. Like you're actually putting effort in your look and your attraction. But just having absolutely no effort in that, and then expecting someone to want to have sex with you all the time, whenever you want them to have sex with you, and you, even if you're married, I get it. You're married, you're not supposed to withhold it, but don't just let yourself go and still expect the same rate. You get what I'm saying? I can see if you had a medical issue or anything like that. People that just don't want to try. You know what I'm saying? At
Right.
least try. Like
Right.
my wife want me to wear baby oil on my chest when I, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So she can keep from scraping me up. I'm gonna do it. She like to put her claws in. So I'm gonna do that. I put it on the back too, because it used to get scratches back there. So I'll do those things for her. And it also turns on a bit, being, what do they call it? Wet. You know what I'm saying? Oily. So I'll do those things, whatever little things she want. You know what I'm saying? If she want me to be in shape, she want me to keep a six pack. She says that I like a six pack. So what I do is I make sure I got a fucking six pack.
See, I like that. See, he's sharing what he's doing too. He's saying, I want my woman fit, but my woman wants me this way, and he's doing it. It's not like it's a one-sided thing. I speak about what women should be doing because that's all y'all think about. Y'all think about just that man. What about you? That's what I'm saying. The right man is going to pretty much cater to your needs because you're catering to his needs. So if you put in the work, he will put in the work. And I like that you're getting this male perspective because this is what it is. This is real. He's married. Almost 10 years, he said. Married man. He's telling you like the blueprint pretty much. So just keep yourself up. Because if you think about it, if your man got really, really big because he lost his self, and I'm talking about big where his face is even changing. Like, and I'm just being real. His face is like, you know what I'm saying, you guys. How would you really be like, you good? I'm not gonna body shame you because you're my husband. Please.
Because you could tell, like, I mean, if you could tell, like, and they tried to do it to where they wanted to show a little body positivity. I get it with Janet Jackson and Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor.
Right. I was just thinking about that movie.
When Nutty Professor was the Eddie Murphy version, like he was slimmer. He was still the same guy, but he was more attractive and more appealing.
He looked.
I mean, it's actually does something, man. So I get it. I get what they're trying to say about body positivity, but I think some people is just taking it too far. I think it's safe to add toxic body positivity.
There we go. Exactly. Let's just
everybody's adding toxic to everything. It's like the main hyphenation for anything that's overly done or took to the extreme.
Facts.
Toxic masculinity. You've been too much of a man. Overly aggressive.
Oh gosh, yeah. I'm like,
But you never hear toxic femininity, do you?
Ooh, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. And that's the one.
Never be too much of a woman.
Yep. That's the one-sided part I'm talking about. Like in a marriage, that is not a one-sided situation. So we're here to show y'all it is both. A woman submits to her husband, and a man submits to his wife too. It's just different. It's a different way. Y'all thought it was just us being submissive to this man? No. First of all, you're going to get things regardless because you're his wife. And what he does for you is the submissive part I'm talking about because he don't have to do it. Like you see what he said? He put oil on. That's like little, but it's big to her. He could have been like, I ain't doing that. That's not masculine,
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I notice I'm a little quicker than my wife, so I try to make sure she get hers first. Stuff like that. So those are things, those are sacrifices you make for the person you love, and you want you want your marriage to last, man. Once you get in a marriage, you start doing things that you probably never said you would do. You start making sacrifices and making changes to, you know what I'm saying, your behavior that you wouldn't do for the sake of your marriage.
Yeah.
And it's not just a woman bending for her man. A man reached down for his wife. You know, she want him to behave a certain way. This is what turns me on. I'm gonna do it. But communicate, and like you said, communication is the key.
Yeah.
As long as we're open to it, and we're willing to listen and activate ourselves on it, we can go far. And that's how I'm able to continue to go far. And I'm gonna get this woman as many babies as she wants.
That's so cute, you guys.
How many babies you got?
So I gave this man 3 boys, 5, 3, and 1. Literally, my 3-year-old turned 3-year-old turned 3 today, actually. Or yesterday. See, it's 12 o'clock.
I
But
know that little 1-year-old is your little heart right now, ain't it?
yes, for sure.
Because my wife is already my son is 8 months, 9 months, one of them. She's already missing when he was little.
Yeah, they grew up so fast. But you know, what we're showing, we're gonna end this in a few minutes. What we're showing you guys is like real. Like Bruiser is being super transparent right now. He's telling you in his happy marriage, this is the things that he does. And we're just talking about little things, but they're big things. The reason why it's big, because if he doesn't do it, guess who's gonna have a problem? His wife. A year is gonna go by. Who's gonna still be thinking about what she said she wanted? His wife. It's gonna keep going. And then 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, they at the 10-year, almost 10-year mark, and he still didn't do what the things that she liked. How is she gonna feel? And then vice versa. So we're just like literally showing you guys what it is. And we have kids. He has one. He's trying to get another one coming up this year. I think I'm taking a break right now because I had 3 back to back. Literally coming out of my postpartum phase in a couple days that year. So, you know, I'm not even at my best right now. I'll be real with you. But I'm trying to get there. So I'm gonna get there. But it's just how it is. But having a lot of kids, you just like, I swear I miss a piece of my brain every child. This is real life for us. We all gonna plan to meet up one day because they are very great people and we all met online, but this is real life, okay? Because after I leave this live, I'm gonna be right with my husband and Bruiser gonna be right with his wife.
Right with my wife. Well,
so
I'll tell you this before the show's over with. I will tell you this. You are cordially invited to our son's first year 1-year-old birthday party. It's going to take place in Virginia, in Northern Virginia. So it'll be close to where you at. It's going to take place in April. So
okay,
we will be sending out invites to everybody around there and the friends and stuff. So you'll be able to see. We'll be able to see each other.
Yes, Bruiser is like, someone said that we are siblings. Bruiser is my brother from another mother and father, okay? This is like for sure. And we met online, but online is this is like we got real life. Like we both kind of like share the same things, goals, and have similar lives. So yeah, I love this thing, YouTube. You know, we meeting great people. So yes, thank you. I will be there, and I look forward to the invite. So yes, thanks so much for being here and showing up. I will drop his link in my description for the video that I posted of his wife's channel, and you guys could check that video out too. So, all right, Bruiser, thanks for being here. I'll catch you soon. All right. Yeah. See, I didn't get into all the chat later on, but I'm so happy you guys are here. Impress says oil him up. Yeah, just rules. Thank you so much for your contribution as always. What's up, Bobby? Thank you, always being here as well. Yep, that nutty professor love. Y'all don't want that. Can we get a witness, Impress? Yeah. So Empress says, love to see Black collaboration. We're definitely going to do more of that. That's what I'm trying to show here. Just trying to get everybody's schedules in line. And we plan to do some live, like in person, like all of us are together speaking, and then we're going to have a live on that. So definitely look out for it. Peace. Yes. So thank you all. Like I said, Fridays are my long nights. I try to keep it like that just to, push further the conversation like today. And yeah, so I appreciate it. Like I always say, it is the weekend. So definitely take your break, but also don't be too far in your break and you're not getting to your goals. Be productive even when you're on your break. Consistently productive. So thanks for being here, and I will see you on Monday at 6. I think I got my schedule now, y'all. So Monday at 6, Wednesday at 6, and then Mondays at 9:30. I think I'm Fridays. So I said Mondays at 6, Wednesdays at 6, Fridays at 9:30. And then I'm on La Peep on Thursday. So bye-bye. Thank you.
I believe in the future. I believe
Music licensing reimagined.
I believe what you truly desire, you can bring to pass. All you need is a focus and a story to hold, and the faith that you can achieve what's inside your soul. Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way,
Artlist.io.
we're gonna get. Someday we'll make it on by. Someday. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get better. Know that you can make it. Hold it tight, cause they will try to take it.
Music licensing reimagined.
But whatever you do, don't let them break it. These moments just a new chance to take into your own hands and shape the life you see inside your dreams. Oh, someday we'll make it on by. Someday. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get.
Artlist.io.
Someday we'll make it on by. People say, we're gonna get better. Oh, in your heart there lives a dream for your soul to master.
Music licensing reimagined.
That you breathe, get to chasing after. Yeah. All that you want, all that you ever dreamed. You can make anything of this life. Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can Someday we only try. No matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get
Artlist.io.
Someday, other days we only can try. Other days, no matter what people say. No matter what they say, we gonna get. Someday we'll make it on by. Someday, other days we only can other days, no matter what people say.
Music licensing reimagined.
Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. We're gonna get. Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we're gonna get better.